Jalen Clark from UCLA. I mean, what's the bigger loss right now? Jalen Clark from UCLA or Bill Self?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he described Bill Self as the best in-game coach in college basketball. I'll take Doug Gottlieb's word for that. I don't know basketball well enough to know who the best in-game coach in college basketball is, but if it's Bill Self, that's easily the difference between winning a tournament and not winning a tournament. I mean, there's a lot of in-game coaching you got to be really good at to win a tournament. Now, when you lose your second leading scorer and the defensive player of the year, I guess in a lot of ways that's a bigger loss.
Yeah, it could be. Depends on who's handling the Kansas job and how the players react to it, and do they mind their P's and Q's when they're on the road, that you've got to be on the road for 6 games to win a national championship like they did last year. My bookie, before we give you some final thoughts and get out of here today, in a scoreboard update from Nashville.
Yeah, mybookie.ag, code next round is where you go if you want to play some of these games. Auburn, Arkansas, the Hogs are a 3.5-point favorite in that one. UAB about a 2-touchdown favorite tonight over Rice. So you can play either one of those games and all the games right there at mybookie.ag. Use code next round when you sign up at mybookie.ag, and you get a deposit bonus up to $20,000 or up to $2,000. That would be news. The mybookie.ag people just passed out me saying that. $2,000, not $20,000, up to $2,000. It is yours right away. You only have to bet at one time for it to be yours. No strings attached on that one. All the conference tournament games, the bigger games coming up over the next 3 weeks, NBA, UFC fights, MLB, all of that right there at mybookie.ag, even weekly blackjack tournaments. You can see more. mybookie.ag, code next round. mybookie.ag, code next round.
This is exactly the way you want to play if you're Mississippi State. Game 1 of the SEC tournament today, 36-26. They lead it at the half. They came out. They led 30-17. They came out there clicking. It's exactly what State needs to do today to lock in that NCAA tournament bid.
Look, if they're going to win, they're going to win with defense, and obviously the defense, Florida's on pace for what? It's not quite a half yet, right?
It is at the half right now. It's on that TV number 3 here in the commercial break at the half.
Yeah, I'm seeing 36-24 with 38 seconds to go. Anyway.
You're going to get one more Florida bucket, I bet.
So Florida on pace, then 52 points. Mississippi State again second the conference, holding opponents to a little over 60 points per game. This is how Mississippi State wins games. Not fun to watch, but Chris Jans has done a really good job. You don't see any elite players, especially any elite scorers on that roster, but their defense is lights out.
They're going to be a tournament team.
Oh, State's in the tournament, I think. And there's likely one less team on the bubble right now to worry you. Michigan's about to lose to Rutgers. One of those teams probably was going to be out of the tournament no matter how that game went. So that was expected, but it looks like Michigan's probably out of this thing. Yeah. So that's just one less team you got to worry about behind you.
Okay, so that game is happening. Miami is going to survive Wake Forest at the ACC tournament. We go live tomorrow from Losers on Broadway, and they're going to open the doors early for Alabama fans at Losers tomorrow because we're going to be there. So we go live at 9. There you see us on the road to Nashville, Tennessee, and they'll open the doors at 10 o'clock. We'll have some Red Mod Vodka specials for you at Losers tomorrow, so come by and get ready for day number 3 and the top 4 seeds day, Friday, the quarterfinals at the SEC tournament, starting with Alabama and the winner of Mississippi State and Florida. So doors open at 10, our show's live at 9, and we'll be there until it's time to walk across the street and go to the SEC basketball tournament at Losers on Broadway with our friends at Red Mod Vodka. You guys have a great day. God bless you, and God bless America.
All the stories important to us are in one place. Catch the morning rounds each weekday at nextroundlive.com. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We've got our kicking and coolers ready to go in Nashville, kicking it with the SEC basketball tournament on the road. will set the table for everything. A big day on the bubble yesterday around the country and here in Nashville. Jim Dunaway, Ryan Brown, Lance Taylor, all the crew back in our Birmingham studios for the next round as we get rolling on the quarterfinals day here at the SEC tournament. Just up the street, we're at Losers right here on Broadway. Just off of Broadway, one of the historic bars down in this entertainment district in Nashville that has really boomed over the past 5 or 10 years. We talk about it on our show all the time. There's no better place to host the SEC basketball tournament than Nashville, Tennessee. Much like it is for football in Atlanta, we should never move the basketball tournament out of this venue right here because of the facility at Bridgestone, but also because of this entertainment district. It's perfect.
Oh, it really is. I mean, there is just everything you could imagine down here. The energy, incredible restaurants, bars, like Losers that we're in right here on the rooftop. I agree with you. I don't think it should ever go out of Nashville. Brown reminded me it was in Tampa last year.
It was, yes.
What the hell was it doing in Tampa?
And at one point, we'll go to Dallas or Kansas City or somewhere because of the expansion, but it should just permanently be in Nashville until the folks from Texas and Oklahoma, they need to kick it one time and come to the Music City.
Now, I don't know that I think Dallas probably, Oklahoma City probably, to throw them a bone.
No.
But it's hard not to have it here. Like, as a lifelong SEC fan, if you had told me, and I apologize in advance for my voice, I don't know how long I'll make it today, but I'm here for you guys. If you told me in advance, forever and ever,
amen,
to use a country music line from here in Nashville, you've got SEC football in Atlanta, SEC basketball here. I say lock it down for 30 years.
You say throw him a bone, Brown. We've already thrown him a bone.
We brought him in the conference?
We let him in the league.
Yeah.
We let him in the league. That's bone enough. We saved their asses.
I mean, and probably the worst tournament was when we threw Missouri a bone and went to St. Louis. I still don't get that at all. You know, the great thing about Nashville, too, is it's a booming city, and I think we might have said this on the show, but this was confirmed from some Nashville people last night. There are more operating cranes downtown Nashville than any other city in America.
It's a booming city. It's a beautiful place. We can make it a Bud Light poll question right out of the gate, Taylor. As Jim said, did we already throw Oklahoma and Texas a bone by letting their asses in the league? Do we need to play a basketball tournament anywhere other than Nashville, Tennessee? Yes or no? You can go vote right now on all of our platforms. Give us a like, subscribe on our 13 platforms, including YouTube right now as you watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Thanks for being with us today. We're here at Losers downtown, just off Broadway, just outside of Bridgestone, with our friends at Kicking at Coolers right now. If you have not learned about kicking at Coolers yet, we're going to try to change that over the next 12 months.
Yeah, look, it's going to be coming to Alabama sooner than later. We can't wait for it. Our good friend Richard Holland brought us some of the Kicking It Coolers months and months ago. So we've had them in our refrigerators in the green room for months.
They don't stay long.
Yeah,
they don't stay long.
People absolutely love them. I mean, the best way to sum this up is it's a Capri Sun for adults.
That's right. Think back to when you were a kid, how comforting it was after practice or something to slip that straw in there, leave the Little League Park sipping it. Now you can do it after work and get a little kick to it.
Yeah, and you see it's got a big 21 plus on the front there. So it makes sure the kids know if it's in the refrigerator, not for you. And I'll tell you today, and I think Richard, today only? Okay, all weekend you can get 6 Kicking It Coolers for $12. I mean, you can't beat that.
I told you 6 Kicking It Coolers for $12 is the best valued buzz on Broadway.
Yeah, because I think the ABV on these is 6%, a little bit more maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 6%.
Yeah.
So you're basically getting beer and a half.
Beer and a half in a Capri Sun-like pouch. Easy to take to the pool, easy to take to the beach or the lake. You just throw it in the cooler.
Yeah, and hey, and they're going to they typically open at 11 o'clock, Dunaway. There is so much foot traffic already. And by the way, you call this a Blackberry winter, right?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
Yes.
I do. It's really, really cold.
But you're incorrect because we haven't started spring yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll
But
get.
you'll have another one. You'll have another cold
Okay,
spell.
my point
That'll
was
be Blackberry winter.
10 o'clock, they're going to open. So they
Yeah.
will serve drinks at 10 o'clock. So if you're going to the Alabama-Mississippi State game at 12, you can come pregame here. They typically open at 11 o'clock. But for all of the next round listeners, 10 o'clock, great specials, and just an awesome place with this rooftop to hang out and look at the downtown area.
A lot of great sponsors bringing us our coverage every day on the show. Let's jump into what happened last night after Brownie tells us about our friends at Fan Cards. Our friends at Fan Cards wanting you to actually show your fandom.
That's right. They're bringing us our coverage here in Nashville. You see the Alabama and Auburn up front if you're watching us on video. I got Tennessee here. I got State. There's another Auburn. I got Hotty Toddy, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Texas A&M, Florida. You get all those at myfancard.com. Two things you do. Use your fan card a lot. Cheer for your team a lot. Combine the two. myfancard.com. Set up direct deposit to win game tickets. myfancard.com.
Man, the gutsy Auburn Tigers fought back, man. They got down 15 in the second half. They were sluggish to start the second half. They fell behind. Then they fought and they fought and they fought. And they take the lead with 41 seconds to play last night when Flanagan drove the lane and got it. And then they couldn't finish. They get a Nick Smith bucket, does Arkansas, to take a lead. And then Wendell and company turn it over. They have to foul 2 free throws. And then they get a clean look at the end, and it goes off the front iron. Not kind to Auburn. They lose it 76-73. What's your thoughts on what you saw last night with the Auburn Tigers?
Well, a couple of things. I mean, these are evenly matched teams. Both teams really dangerous. Auburn's just got a lot of inconsistencies. The same with Arkansas, the way they ended the season, going 2-5 down the stretch. But for Auburn to be down 15 and go on that 15-6 run and actually take the lead, a gutsy effort on Auburn's part, but just couldn't close the deal. Good thing they beat Tennessee, because if they would have lost that Tennessee game and they're sitting here at 19-13, I don't know if they're in or not.
I don't either. I think the state win got them in. I mean, Tennessee win got them in. But had they lost both those, that would be a very nervous Selection Sunday.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I think Auburn would be out if they had not beat Tennessee, but they did beat Tennessee. They're comfortably in according to all the matrix. You may sweat a little bit on Sunday, but I don't think you have to sweat too long for the Auburn Tigers. But as far as this tournament is concerned, Bruce Pearl noticed one thing that was very different last night. Arkansas was taller and a little bit more athletic than they were, especially when it came to rebounding. Cut number 1, Tyler. Let's listen to Bruce Pearl just up the street at Bridgestone last night after the Tigers fell to Arkansas 76-73 to get bounced early again from the SEC basketball tournament. Here's BP.
I think physically they bothered us. Their athleticism and their length bothered us. And as a result, we got dominated on the boards, which made it really difficult for us to, win the basketball game. But proud of kids that the bench played really well and gave us a real chance, which you have to do in tournament play to get great numbers from your bench like that. Could have put us in position to, be okay, get that win, and you'll be okay for the next night.
That's Bruce Pearl last night after the Auburn loss. So as Bruce pointed out, there's over 200 teams that wish they were in their situation, waiting for Selection Sunday and likely in the tournament that plays for the national championship. But disappointing that they're not continuing here in Nashville, because a lot of Auburn fans in this area, a lot of Auburn fans live here in Nashville, and they were out last night at Bridgestone hoping to see their team make a little run.
You know what's amazing is Auburn is able to have a lead with 41 seconds to go in that game, and they were basically doubled up on the boards.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, 37-19 with an opportunity to win that game in the final minute.
And I'll tell you this, Brownie, and I'll go to you a lot today since you're struggling voice-wise.
Thanks, please.
Just don't make me get up and down. I got joint pain everywhere. LT,
That's the only healthy one. Yeah.
Ironically, LT is the only healthy one to start.
And probably out the
day.
latest, too.
Yeah, probably so. So we're sitting here, and this Auburn team has lost so many close games. I'm trying to think of a team in our years of 13 years together that we pull so many positives from during their losses, but they continue to lose so many games. I mean, maybe phrase that up differently for me, but they've lost a lot of basketball games, but there's been so many positives in their losses that you still feel like this team at some point could make a run. You know what I'm trying to say?
I mean, they've got a lot of talent, but again, 4-9 their last 13 games. And I saw this morning, and this is hard to believe, and you guys confirm if this is right or not. In their last 7 SEC tournament appearances, they've lost in the first round 6 times, and then they won the championship 1 time.
Yeah.
Look, I think Bruce Pearl is one of the better coaches in college basketball, one of the better coaches, obviously, in the SEC. I know the SEC tournament doesn't mean a ton, but that's kind of a disturbing stat.
Well, it is. I mean, there's so many times you want to play well in Nashville because it gives you confidence going into the NCAA tournament. So it's not just about hanging a banner. It's about getting things right.
Yeah, we'll talk Alabama coming up in our next segment as we get rolling here. We'll shift over to UAB because the Blazers had a big win last night. We'll talk about UAB and what's ahead for them right after we tell you it's a great opportunity to join us and our friends at Redmond Vodka right now and try to win Chuck's Bucks. We're going to put a QR screen on your code right now. Use that and jump in and save your spot in our bracket right now. It's our bracket challenge this year with our friends at Redmond Vodka, LT.
Yeah, and we've got Redmond Vodka on location here at Losers downtown. So make sure you drop by if you want to get an early Bloody Mary, an early screwdriver to get going before the games today. Make sure you ask for it by name. It is Redmont Vodka. The Redmont Vodka team is in town as well. Redmont Vodka made from corn, which not only makes it gluten-free, also provides that smooth finish, no harsh aftertaste, 8 times distilled, available at your local package and ABC stores. Ask for it by name. It's Redmont Vodka. Thank God I did not take it too deep last night with you two.
Because we're sick.
Yeah.
This is one of those weird things where I feel amazing and sound awful. It really is the first pollen of the year. Gets me every year.
I sound fantastic.
Feel awful
and feel horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't sound too bad, and I feel great.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the legend my headset here. Here, come sit down, Herbie.
The legend.
No.
He's beat up. He can't even speak.
I can't talk.
Herb Wenches, a pioneer, a trailblazer in Birmingham radio and television, now lives in the Nashville area. And Herbie, this is just one of the great cities of America now.
It's unbelievable, Lance. We moved here back in October. I'm out of breath.
I know. I'm gonna let you catch your breath. Well, we're gonna talk to you a long time.
I went to
today.
the one on Division Street.
Yeah, there are 2 losers, so make sure
yeah.
we didn't really give Herb all the details. It's the one downtown off of Broadway.
While you catch your breath, let's talk about UAB last night. Andy Kennedy's bunch jumps into the Conference USA tournament. They got an 87-80 win over Rice. Jelly Walker, 7 of 11 from threes, 27 points. So the Blazers advance. They're 2 wins away from being back in the NCAA tournament, but they are probably the 2 toughest teams in Conference USA. One of the nation's best defensive teams, North Texas, today at 2:00, and then a likely matchup with Florida Atlantic tomorrow to punch a ticket to the NCAA tournament. Here's Andy Kennedy, cut number 4, if you will, Tyler. Last night after the win, 87-60, and this UAB team, unlike some teams who are not automatically into the tournament or already off the bubble, they're playing their best basketball of the year right now. Here's AK last night.
The goal obviously is to get the bye so that you can win 3-3 as opposed to 4-4. But I've always felt that the team that had just come off a win, meaning Rice last night, has a little bit of an advantage. First time over half of our team have been in this building was 30 minutes prior to the game. We've been sitting in that hotel all day. And I knew we were going to be a little bit sluggish, and they'd seen the ball go in the basket. They'd won an emotional game last night, and I thought Rice came out with the right approach. At the end of the half, we spurted them. I didn't think defensively we were turning them over early, but when we weren't turning them over, they were dicing us up with their continuity offense. Second half was a completely different game. We became much more disruptive defensively. We were making shots really pretty much for the entire game, but defensively was the key in the second half. We got disruptive, and the game got away from them.
And Herbie, you've watched basketball for all these years, covering it for so many years, and you're a big fan of the sport. There is something about playing your best basketball right now.
And evidence of that, Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's doing it too. Yep.
In the back half of the season, look how Vandy has come on. I mean, they're legitimate. I was proud of Jerry Stackhouse, well-deserving to become co-coach of the year along with Buzz Williams at Texas A&M. Another day. Look, anything can happen. I think this is the most wide open field that we have seen in years. It's not going to be dominated by, say, Kansas, and certainly North Carolina now is gone. Gone. They're done. So you're going to see some different programs make a big jump. and I'm really proud of what Andy has done at UAB. I had a chat with him this summer, had a long chat. He said, Herb, I think this is going to be, because it's a senior laden team, but he says, I think this is going to be my best team ever. And of course they had a little bit of slump because Jelly went down, and he's the key to that whole team. But he's done a marvelous job. So last night gave him what, 24?
Yeah,
24 and 8.
Yeah, 24 and 8. And
there you go.
And they've won 11 of 12,
Yeah.
7 straight. They're playing their best basketball. And you go back to the dip when Jelly was out and some of those tight games.
Yeah.
I think they lost 4 one-possession games, and things would be so much different. We're talking about Florida Atlantic's got an automatic right now. This could be UAB. UAB's hot at the right time, but they're playing North Texas today.
Mm-hmm.
They're a 1.5-point dog. And the dark horse, people that picked a dark horse outside of Florida Atlantic say North Texas is the team to watch.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll see if Middle Tennessee can knock off Florida Atlantic, which would help the winner of the North Texas UAB game in the Conference USA tournament. But UAB, no gimme today, as LT is saying, with North Texas. Tell us about Hemp Hill, and then we'll sort of set the table a little bit later with Alabama going at 12 noon. We're here at Losers, just off Broadway, with our friends at Kicking It Cooler and our friends at Hemp Hill. If your heat wasn't kicking it last night when you turned it back on when it got cold, Hemp Hill, Adam and Chad, the people to call.
Yeah, right now, Hemp Hill Service offering a $69 HVAC tune-up. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure that HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. Call 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
So 12 noon, the day starts with Alabama and Mississippi State, two of the best defensive teams in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And Herb, we've talked all week long that this Alabama team's not playing its best basketball right now, but they're still a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. As a guy who played sports back in the day, and you've covered it a long time, there's something about when you flip the script from regular season to postseason, it can sort of reset that thing. Seems like it's coming at a good time for this basketball team.
It really does. And the job it's been done, in spite of some of the recent distractions, I think Nate has done a great job holding it together. I just think they're going to find a way to win today. And not that they need it, because I think they're a 1 seed regardless of what happens this afternoon. But it's a good confidence builder, if you would. And then from that point, I think this team obviously is going to be in Birmingham, Alabama. Would you not agree?
Yep.
As a 1 seed, do you think anybody coming up from Tuscaloosa 45 minutes away will fill up the Legacy Arena?
Yep.
And oh, by the way, I'm so proud of how far my former hometown has become, and that's Birmingham, with the Protective Life Stadium, with all the events that are going on, and then the improvements, $170 million put into the Legacy Arena. And when things like that happen and you expand, what happens? Suddenly we're back in the business of hosting an NCAA event. And that's where Alabama will go. I think they've got an easy path. I don't want to jinx anybody, but I will tell you something. I think they're a serious Final Four team.
But I'll tell you, Herb, they've got to get right. The last 4 games, you can't deny they just haven't looked like that team that dominated early. And over the last 4 games, and we've talked about this many times this week, 25 of 125 behind the arc. They just can't hit a perimeter shot. You go back to Mississippi State, the last time they played, 66-63 Alabama. Mississippi State held Alabama to 36% from the floor, 5 of 28 behind the arc. This is a really, really good defensive team that only gives up 60 points per game. Alabama's got to get that confidence back if they want to make that deep run. I agree with you. Maybe the most talented team in college basketball, but they've got to start hitting those perimeter shots.
So Alabama plays the first game today at 12 noon, 4 more quarterfinal games in the semis on Saturday, the championship on Sunday. We're here in Nashville. We're at Losers. It'll open up at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock Central. So if you're listening to us on your way in, if you're already in Nashville, then swing by here on your way into Bridgestone. If you're not here in Nashville, sorry, you can't make it here in time, but we'll hoist a Bud Light for you. Bud Light, by the way, brings you our show wherever we are, always on the road, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. It's our friends at Bud Light. We got a poll question out. Herb, how far away do you live from here?
I live about 10 minutes in an area called Green Hills. Love it out there. Everybody's heard of the Bluebird Cafe. It's
absolutely.
world famous.
Right.
I mean, recently, Garth Brooks just showed up and started singing. It's very, very popular. Doesn't hold about 40 people. But if you go just behind that, I'm on a dead end street in a cul-de-sac.
But don't give us your GPS.
Well, I'm not going to tell you, but
there's a lot of Herb Wenches groupies out there that'll show up and start throwing their bras on your porch.
Too old for that, pal. but I will tell you that Betty and I love it. We have 2 grandsons here, and we still have a granddaughter back in Alabama, and we're going to be heading there tomorrow because she's in a little bit of a fashion show. So we stay on the road, but my other passion is the restaurant. We open up here in about 4 weeks, and so I'm getting ready. I got to listen, for a guy my age, I've been so blessed because I've got a great situation here, and then I kind of bag everything up, and then I head down to Lake Martin.
Yep.
And that ain't a bad place to live either.
And then
we talk about the success of the Landing, and basically you opened it, and I describe it to people like one of those pods where you store stuff when you move. You basically had like a pod,
shipping container.
Yeah, shipping container that was a bar that has grown into. I mean, it is the place to be on Lake Martin, and I guarantee you, you probably aren't familiar with kicking at coolers.
Well, this is about to come to your place. Now, remember a Capri Sun for your kids?
Yeah, well, my grandson drinks that all the time.
Yeah,
well, not these,
not those kind of a little young.
He'll be napping a longer time if he does.
6% ABV. This is like drinking a beer and a half in one little cooler here.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, it's about to get approved in Alabama.
Look how easy this is to throw in your cooler and take to the beach or the pool.
Did Capri Sun sue them? I hope not.
No, not at all.
They're here.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna introduce you in break.
Not yet.
Kicking it cooler guys are here.
Are they really?
Owners and PR people.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a great concept.
Yeah.
I love it.
Herb Wenches.
If I hadn't had 2 bottles of wine last night at dinner, I'm gonna try it anyway, though.
Yeah, you'll do it.
It looks great.
You'll do it at 10 o'clock, I guarantee you.
Okay, so what? It comes in different.
No, so it's one flavor. So it's
one flavor.
It's basically a tropical fruit. It's got mango. It's got apple. Cool. It's got pear. Well, it says it on the bag.
Yeah. It's that's big with young people. That's big.
Oh.
It'll kill it.
Can you imagine at the Landing if you had a bucket of those?
Well, we might make that happen.
Look at the price point. 6 for $12.
That's only this weekend though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's still pretty good.
But he's the owner of the Landing. When he gets it, he can go 6 for $12 every now and then.
Can you drink? If I've got the $12, can you drink 6 before you leave today?
Oh no, no. When you tell me that's such much alcohol in there, I got to drive the car back.
Oh yeah. That'd only be the equivalent of like 10 beers.
Can you imagine in the day?
You're a legend.
Having a few of these and then going to Lavoie's and then eating a nice pasta meal and some nice bread.
Those bring back great memories. Huh?
To me, that's still your best endorsement was Lavoie's. Nikki's was close.
Right.
But Lavoie's, you drove me there. I had never been there before when I was listening to you. I don't want to date you, but as a kid, but I made sure that I went to Lavoie's. And I mean, I hate it for Tom and who was the other owner?
Tom and Frank Lavoie.
Yeah, Tom and Frank, that they ever moved that location.
Well, the grandson took over and they had passed on, and
there's something about
where it was.
Yeah.
You know what? I passed by it not too long ago. There's a Smoothie King there. I'm going, it breaks my heart.
Breaks your heart.
But Lavoie, I coined that phrase, and just be sure and tell him Herb sent you and get you 2 big old fat meatballs.
Yeah, really
cold, crisp salad.
Yeah.
And I remember the time the late Ben Cook said, "Did Olive Garden sue them when you were doing a live read?" We got a quick break here from Losers just off Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee. We're back to talk about the bubble, what went on yesterday. Coming up in the show, brought to you by our friends at Michelson, Justin Hokanson. Coming up at 10 Central Time. He'll talk about Auburn last night, what happened, them going to the tournament, also a little Auburn football with him. We flip it totally to college football at 10:25 Central, where Josh Pate, who lives right here in Nashville, he works right up the street from us. He'll come hang out with us a couple of segments. And then Alabama great Riley Norris will join us at 11 Central today. We'll do a little trash, and then we'll hit it over to Bridgestone to watch the Tide play at noon. That's your Michelson look ahead. You can see clearly now with our friends at Michelson.
969-8100. That's the number you need to write down. If you wear the contacts, you wear the glasses, you're wasting money each and every year. Find out if LASIK is right for you. Look, I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. Went to see Dr. Mark Michelson 2 decades ago. I still have 2015 vision, better than 2020. 969-8100. As for Amy, tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You've got 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Did you tweak your shoulder putting up Christmas decorations? Injure your elbow shooting hoops in the backyard? Or hurt your knees getting up from the couch at halftime? Let 2023 be the year precision sports medicine and orthopedics gets your life back on track. Orthopedic care is better together. Find your provider today. Call 205-512-3885. That's 205-512-3885. Or visit precisionsportsortho.com/2023.
It's the spring sales event at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Now you can get $10,000 off plus rates as low as 4.7% on new 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvios and new 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulias. Come see the team at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, exit 27 just off I-459 on Grants Mill Road, or visit them online at alfaromeo.usa.birmingham.com. Hurry down before they're all gone. All incentives applied, in stock units only with approved credit. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Today I have some tips on how to stay healthy. Number 1, get some cardio. 2, get a proper fitting on your shoes to get the most out of that cardio. Our in-store fit specialist will match your feet with the perfect New Balance shoe so you get the perfect fit. Come see us at the New Balance Birmingham store, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today at New Balance Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Spring is here, and that means it's time to prepare for moving season. Let Holly Mack Wilson guide you and help get your home prepared to sell. Whether you are looking for the perfect home or need to sell yours, Holly Mack Wilson can do it all and can do it anywhere in Alabama. Call Holly Mack Wilson today, 205-901-9446, or visit her website, hollymachomes.com. Holly Mack Wilson, your home prep expert. Holly Mack Wilson, a trusted anywhere in Alabama Keller Williams realtor you can always depend on.
Back with you on the Next Round as we're live at Losers up here in Nashville. Brownie at some point will have to get back in the microphone and talk about some of his great sponsors. But we also want to talk right now about our friends at Precision Sports to get you back in the game. Our friends at Precision. LT, no real injuries to worry about with Alabama, but you are, if you're a Kentucky fan, you're trying to get a couple of guys healthy for the tournament. Tell us about Precision. They'll get you back in the game.
Yeah, look, make plans to get moving in 2023. Our friends Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics encourage you to start out 2023 less pain. Schedule any elective orthopedic procedures you've been putting off. Make an appointment. Start saving today. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/providers/2023.
One story that was developing with Doug Gottlieb was on our show yesterday, and he sort of hinted that it was something serious with Bill Self. We don't know how serious it is right now, but it did come out yesterday. They said it was not a heart attack as reported by some members of the media, but they did say he had a standard procedure in a local hospital. They expect him to make a full recovery, but he will not coach again in the Big 12 tournament.
Wow.
His timetable for coming back is yet to be determined. Kansas won last night, no problem. They play in the semifinals today against Iowa State, 6 o'clock, without Bill Self there. Standard procedure, who knows what that could be. It could be anything from adding a stent to your heart.
That's
what
my
I think.
thinking.
Yeah, that's what I instantly thought of, right?
Yeah.
If it was misreported as a heart attack, you think, well, it's a heart issue.
Heart issue,
Yeah.
and it'd be a stent.
And
I agree with it. Of course, we're not doctors, but but it's good he's going to be okay.
Yeah,
He's a great coach.
But here's the thing,
and that's a procedure that happens a lot for a lot of Americans. And they, full recovery, and they're back to work pretty quick.
Yeah, my former father-in-law had the procedure done, and I just remember they were telling him you really got to take it easy, stress-free. So, hopefully for Kansas, he's going to be fine. He'll be able to coach in the NCAA tournament. I find it far-fetched, though. I mean, a heart procedure with the stress that it brings on.
It does.
Well, I mean, you could see him making this run through this tournament. If they win it again, 2-time national champs. If not, he goes out, and maybe this is it. Maybe this is what he goes into retirement.
Well, we just saw it with Jim Boeheim.
Yep.
After 47 years, and it gets to you. I mean, it's a. I never thought.
Did you ever think about coaching?
No. I couldn't take it, but I got to tell you. The thing that intrigues me is to see college basketball and how much it's advanced from, say, 10 years ago. And if you go back 20 years, you see a big noticeable difference. I mean, you still had the great players, but every team seems to have a superstar. And you were talking about Mississippi State. I mean, they do play defense, but I watched it yesterday against Florida, and they can't throw it in the ocean.
You're right.
And that's why I don't think they're going to make it through today. And I'm with you. I like Alabama. Auburn and Arkansas turned out to be a great game. Comes down to the last shot, but I just can't say enough great things about our two coaches in the state of Alabama. Big fan of Bruce Pearl. Just does a wonderful job, and it really broke his heart last night, and he apologized. He publicly apologized to the Auburn fans for making the trip up here, and they didn't advance.
It's really his adopted family. He's one of the best ambassadors I've ever seen for a university. And,
Yep.
We had him on, Herbie, as a regular guest, a weekly guest before he got that Auburn job. And we've said this before, like if he ever gets offered another job, he would never take it because he's so loyal to the opportunity they gave him to come back.
You're right. And, he's got a place on Lake Martin, and he's told me a number of times, why would I go somewhere else? When I retire, I'm going to live full time.
Does he come to the lake or to the landing?
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
Bushwhackers?
No, he's a beer guy.
Okay.
He's a beer guy.
He looks like a beer guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's so generous with everybody.
He takes 1,000. I've been there with him when he was there. Not with him.
It
He
reminds
takes
me of
1,000
Barkley.
pictures. Yeah.
He's like
Charles Barkley knows how to work a room.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, and that's a good comparison.
And I heard last night there's a guy that owns the I don't know if you've been to I would say it's a tequila speakeasy here. And it's only been open a few months, but a celebrity owns it. And they said opening night, friends and family, that he had security around him and wouldn't talk to anybody. I'm like,
well, you open a bar.
Yeah, what's the point?
And you're there, but you don't want to talk to your clientele. Come on.
Big superstar, by the way.
Come on.
Big superstar.
Big.
Have y'all been to this assembly hall right by you here?
I have not.
I haven't.
I want you to treat yourself. I brag about it all the time. I've never seen so many. It's like with and I don't know if it's still there, the Pazitz Food Hall.
Yeah.
It is. Wait do you see this thing? And y'all need to go over
I'm
there after the game or something and have lunch or have a drink.
I parked downstairs. I parked in the parking deck.
You parked in that
and
deck.
It says the second floor. Yeah.
So is it right by the JW?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's where we're staying.
I'm telling you guys, you're just not going to believe it. I've never seen so many choices to eat.
Right.
It's a huge courtyard. It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
It just goes on forever. But anyway, it's very popular here. And the food here is amazing. A lot of great restaurants like I said, Birmingham has that same thing going for it now with great restaurants.
Yeah, and I got to give Brownie credit. He hyped up this steak joint that we went to in Franklin on the way in last night.
Mm-hmm.
It lived up to the hype. What was the name of the place again?
Cork and Cow.
Yeah, Cork and Cow. It was delicious.
It really was. Bone-in filet for me. I usually complain about something. Nothing I could complain about last night. It was fantastic.
I paid off a steak last night, Herb. This guy's been killing me.
I have. I've been on a heater, Herb.
Really?
Yeah. I see. Here's when
with Fix or what?
Well,
just random stuff that we bet on the show.
He says something. He's very absolute.
Right.
So he says something that I disagree with, and sometimes we put a stake on it, and I've hit a few lately.
Like I said, we've got a bet that man will make it to Mars and colonize Mars before Jimbo Fisher, your buddy, wins a national championship.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I don't think we're going to be around to see either, but
he's got humans on Mars before Jimbo wins another one.
I never thought that Jimbo would be on the hot seat.
That's
a
a
guy
struggle,
that's
man.
guaranteed $75 million, but he is.
God, and he's got every resource in the world.
He does. He does, and his recruiting's been phenomenal. He's been forced to go outside and get himself an OC, which he needs.
How do those personalities mix? Bobby Petrino and Jimbo Fisher. My gosh.
Well, I just hope they don't get on a motorcycle together.
We get uncomfortable with our state bets too sometimes. This will make you cringe, but he's got Charlie Sheen passing away before. Who was the
You got Richard Simmons.
I got Richard Simmons passing away first.
Can I tell you something? That's cold-blooded.
It is.
That's cold.
Hey, we got to go it sometime.
Well, I know, but I'm a lot further ahead of that game than you are, so don't be taking bets on me, okay?
I will take you over Charlie Sheen. I mean, how is he still breathing?
Well, he's had an interesting past, to say the least. But I saw a picture of him the other day. Looked good.
We've actually got one going. He's got you. I've got Rick Carley.
Well, he's a lot younger, so you got the right one.
Our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing will take care of you, Greg Nelson, and our friend there, Greg from Pell City. You see him riding around with his big black truck with our logo on it. He's just a great human being. He's a father. He and his wife, 10 kids, local roof contractor. You rarely can beat that. All of his crews are local folks that will take care of you. They'll go out. We just had those windstorms. You never know if you loosen up a shingle, bend a shingle or two, and then you've got water leaking to your roof. It's going to cost thousands of dollars to get that repaired. Just beat that on the front end by getting a free no-cost roof inspection with Greg from Pell City. Just call this number 205-542-3531, 542-3531, or just look him up on Facebook. Greg from Pell City, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Insurance companies trust him. He and his wife are the company. This is his cell number I'm giving you. It's his cell number. It's what kind of a guy he is. He's local. He's not going anywhere. 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City Storm Restoration Roofing. We'll get into the bubble that went on yesterday and everything. But the SEC commissioner is going to have a news conference later today at 5:30 between games before the start of the night session here. And it's just an opportunity for the media to talk to Greg Sankey. But what do you think he's going to talk about today?
Here you go.
Okay.
Now, I want to take you guys, but, the mind still works okay?
That's right.
When we talked about all this NIL stuff when I was on your show way over a year ago, and we talked about the expansion in the Southeastern Conference when we heard that Texas and Oklahoma was coming in. I said at that time, and I'm going to bring it up to you because I made a mental note to do it today, they're not finished. Now, have you read Florida State and Clemson?
I've been watching Florida State and Clemson griping about the ACC.
The money's not what they think. Now, it's going to cost them a ton to get out, but I've said all along, if there's two teams the SEC would take, it would be those two.
Well, those make sense, but what people are talking about, Herb, is television markets.
Well,
and those markets are already covered. I agree with you. I mean, those are the only two that make sense. Going from 14 to 16 to 18 is just, my gosh, it's a lot of teams.
Well, you know what? They're talking about there could be a day we're looking at just super conferences. One big super conference versus another. I mean, I don't think any of this is far-fetched. I mean, look how everything it's always evolving and always changing.
Well,
it wouldn't surprise me.
I don't doubt anything anymore. I mean, I never thought I'd live to see a global pandemic, and lucky to live through it. But I saw it happen, so I don't doubt anything anymore, man. And we could end up having just the SEC and Big Ten, and that'd be it.
Yeah, Dr. Fauci still believes it was a wet lab and a rat or something. If you believe that, I got some.
We actually talked about Fauci at dinner last night.
Oh man,
I can't believe the guy's still walking the earth.
And ironically, I brought him up, which I'm non-political, and I'm the one that brought him up.
Well, I'm not. I try not to be that political, but I never believed that guy from day one. But anyway, we've made it through it.
We did.
And we're all still working.
Yeah, right here at Losers, man. It's a great place to come celebrate our freedom and to get out here and enjoy it, kicking in coolers as we're on the road at the SEC tournament. That's Herb Wenches sitting in for Ryan Brown, who is doing okay. He is dressed in his business-like khakis and loafers, standing on the other side of the camera there in one of his 42 zip up.
You sound like Eli Gold painting the picture.
That would definitely be his home.
Hey, by the way,
right
great news about Eli.
Oh, really? I haven't heard anything.
He's coming back.
Okay, good.
His situation, I know that he had battled some cancer, and they feel like that he's well enough, and he's announced that he's coming behind the mic again for Alabama next year.
He's announced that, but Alabama hasn't announced that yet. So that's something I'm waiting to see.
Well, I can't. Come on, he's been there for what, 3 decades?
Yeah, he's been there a long time.
You just, if he's healthy enough, and he thinks he will be.
Is he healthy enough? Yeah.
Well, he's been a dear friend, and I know you guys feel the same way about him. And I was happy to hear that news. All right, let me just ask you guys.
Okay.
Because
can you save it for the other side of the break? Ask us anything you want on the other side of the break. Part of the show being brought to you by our friends at Slice Pizza today. It's a great. It starts with a great crust, man. You can't have a good pizza without a great crust, and that's what our friends at Slice offers you.
Yeah, and so proud of the Bajaya brothers, the late Jeff, Jason, Chris, what they've been able to do with this concept. It's local pizza, it's local ingredients. It started with one location right there in Lakeview, then to Vestavia, then to Montevallo. They just opened Crestline Park. Again, local pizza, local ingredients, great beer selection, some of those specialty pizzas from the Hot Mama to the Bajaya Special, the Soul Pie. You're going to absolutely love it. And don't forget about the curbside pickup, $75, 7 days a week. You get the 12 wings, half pan of the salad, 2 of the specialty pizzas. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
Here's the lineup for you today here at the SEC basketball tournament. First game out of the gate, 12 o'clock. Alabama, an 8-point favorite against Mississippi State. Followed in the afternoon session, Tennessee and Missouri. Both those games are on ESPN. Tennessee checking it as a 5.5-point favorite in that game. Ironically, Tennessee had the double bye. Tennessee had to play their way into that. The night session goes Arkansas and Texas A&M. A&M a 1-point favorite, 6 o'clock for that one. That'll go off probably close to a pick'em. And then Vandy and Kentucky right here in Vandy's hometown, but not on their home court. And it'll be a home crowd for Kentucky, usually is. They're an 8.5-point favorite. Those are the 4 games at the SEC tournament just up the street in Bridgestone. We're at Losers. They're about to open the doors at 10 o'clock. If you're an Alabama fan, I hope you've already planned on swinging by here on your way into Bridgestone to get a little pre-game lubrication going with our friends at Kicking It and Coolers and a lot more. Our friends at the University of Montevallo want to remind you, if you're looking for a great place for your son or daughter to go to school, Montevallo's the answer. Schedule that in-person tour and a lot more at montevallo.edu. Find out everything you need to know about making Montevallo the home for your son or daughter. Montevallo.edu. Back to Nashville in a moment.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
Spring is here, and that means it's time to prepare for moving season. Let Holly Mack Wilson guide you and help get your home prepared to sell. Whether you are looking for the perfect home or need to sell yours, Holly Mack Wilson can do it all and can do it anywhere in Alabama. Call Holly Mack Wilson today, 205-901-9446, or visit her website, hollymachomes.com. Holly Mack Wilson, your home prep expert. Holly Mack Wilson, a trusted anywhere in Alabama Keller Williams realtor you can always depend on.
Don't let a roof problem disrupt your football Saturday or Sunday. Call Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. Locally owned at 205-542-3531. Greg wants to give you a free no-cost inspection. Free, no cost, no obligation, 205-542-3531. He can also pressure wash your metal roofing. It's easy to see why his company's so successful. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, and insurance companies trust him. You should too. 205-542-3531, or just look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com.
For more than 40 years, Red Wing Shoes has been helping the hardworking people of Alabama. This is why Red Wing Shoes has created the 3-step comfort solution. Step 1, a certified fit specialist will use a 3D scan to electronically measure your feet and arches. Step 2, help you get the appropriate footwear for your occupation. Step 3, customize your boot or shoe with a Red Wing orthotic. Whether you have high arches or flat feet, Red Wing has the comfort solution for you. So experience comfort at its best. Visit one of the Red Wing shoe stores located in Pelham or Trussville.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our not for all ages podcasts like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family, all at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Make sure to check out our gaming channel on YouTube at Next Round Gaming, and also follow us on Twitter at TNR Gaming 247. That way you can know when we go live with our TNR Madden League, live game streams nightly, and more. That's at Next Round Gaming on YouTube.
Back with you to Losers, just off of Broadway. 2 locations here, one in Midtown, right? Midtown, and then the one here at Broadway. Both of them are fantastic. And Herbie, this will not shock you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't think I've ever been to this Losers on Broadway. And then I walk in here, and all of a sudden it starts to come back to me. I've been here a lot before, just never noticed the name.
Ooh,
yeah. Nashville can go hard.
I was going to say it could. I was just telling Lance in the break. I said the vibe here is amazing. There's so much always going on. You have many choices. I become a Preds fan.
Yep.
There's talk now, Major League Baseball.
Absolutely.
Maybe the Oakland A's, if they don't go to Vegas, that they're looking at Nashville.
I've always wanted my Tampa Bay Rays to come up here. A good franchise. They were managed well and come here.
Yeah.
That'd be good. You know, I went to the outdoor hockey game back in February of 2022.
Wow.
Over at Nissan Predators and my Tampa Bay Lightning. And I came here and listened to a girl on the stage behind us here. And I was amazed that you had a QR code, and I could Venmo her my tip. You know what that does? Makes you tip more.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
I've only got so much cash, right?
Yeah.
I dropped her a 20 for playing me some song. I forget what song it was, which shouldn't surprise you because I'd forgotten I'd even been here before.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like you'd forgotten that whole night.
Bits
and that
pieces.
can happen, you know.
Well, I was in here a month ago, and I was like, yeah, this doesn't look like the same place I was in.
Well, it's in a great location, by the way, but you're speaking in Nissan Stadium.
Yep.
I read the other day where the Metro Council here in Nashville has approved the renovations that's going to be done at Nissan. And the word is they're going to take out maybe 10, 15,000 seats. They're going to put a roof on it, but they're going to modernize it big time.
Yeah, I would like them to just tear it down and build a new one, but it's not my money. It's your tax money. It's not my money.
Well, hey. You know, no state tax here, big boy.
Oh, that's one reason Herbie's here.
One of the reasons relocated.
Yeah, Herbie's got a.
You were in Florida before, so
I did Florida and had that, and had the opportunity to come here to be with the grandkids. And that's all good.
No state tax, and you can get 6 kicking at coolers.
There you go
For $12.
$12. Where are you going to beat that?
Can't beat that. We're at Losers. Well, Herb's got a question for us after I tell you about the official tequila of the next round. That's Maestro Dobel Diamante tequila, the world's first multi-aged clear tequila, aged in that new European oak barrel, double filtered to remove the color while producing a crystal clear spirit of character and smoothness. Crystal and clear in appearance, smooth and crisp on the finish. This Maestro Dobel, the perfect tequila for sipping or mixing or occasionally shooting. What's your question, Herbie? You had a question?
My question is, take me through today. You just announced the lineup. Do you want to go by the number, or you just want to pick a winner? It's a lot easier, to pick a winner than by the number.
Easier to pick the winner, but I think Alabama against a great defensive team is going to shoot really well today. So I would take Alabama, give the 8. I would take Tennessee plus. No, Tennessee's giving points. 5.5 is a tough number. I'm going to still go Tennessee and their defense minus 5.5. I'll take Arkansas. Probably will go off at a pick. And I would take
Kentucky in revenge.
I'm going to take Vandy getting
Ooh.
within the 8.5, but not winning the game. I think Kentucky's got to take it easy with 3 players that are beaten up a little bit to have them ready for next Thursday and Friday.
You want to go steak? You got plenty to play with.
I don't want to go stakes on all of those, but
on
you pick
Kentucky.
On the Kentucky one, I'll take Vandy in the points.
Yeah, let me give you the official number here.
I want to say it's 7-8.
I think it's 7.5. I think.
Oh, see,
well,
eight,
while
it's
he
8.5 here. He's already
We
shaved
scores it up.
He's already shaving a point off of me, Herbie.
well, it's important.
No,
It doesn't sound like much, but it's
8.5.
8.5. Okay. So
right.
I got Vandy 8.5. It is a stake bet brought to you by New York Butcher. We'll do New York Butcher in a second. Go ahead. What do you got?
I've been there for a couple of games. I went to the Vandy, Tennessee game, and then when Auburn came a couple of weeks ago, I went. I fell in love with. I always wanted to see Memorial Gymnasium, and I got to tell you something.
You had never been?
I'd never been.
Wow.
And I went a few weeks ago, and just man, it's cool. They have done a great job with an old facility, if you know what I mean. But they've done a really wonderful job.
Good video screens and everything.
Everything, yeah. Vandy, the only problem I really liked Liam Robbins, and that guy. I said, well, when he went down, I said they can't win without him. But by golly, Stackhouse has plugged some other players in, and they're just rocking right along.
It's crazy. And, one of the criteria used to be last 10 games, which I still think should be criteria. I want the best teams playing their best basketball coming into this tournament.
Yep.
And if it was by that criteria, Vanderbilt would be in. And I think if they beat Kentucky today, I think they're in.
Yeah. 8.5 is what I have Vanderbilt with the points trying to play within Kentucky. It's a New York Butcher Shop stake bet.
Yeah, stop by the New York Butcher Shop. Go see Jim, the fine folks there. Look, the weekend is here. Great time to grill out. You can stop by the New York Butcher Shop, pick up the finest and certified Angus prime beef steaks, burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, all natural chicken cut to order just for you with a great selection of fine wines and desserts. The New York Butcher Shop, one-stop dinner shop, 2 locations, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
And just down the street from that on Highway 119 and 280, we'll be there Sunday watching the selection show at Walk-Ons, 5 o'clock. Come hang out with us and watch the selection show, find out where Alabama, Auburn, and hopefully UAB are going to be playing in the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. And then right after that show, if you can't make it in person, join us when CBS goes dark at 6 o'clock Central Time. We'll be on all of our video platforms reacting to the bracket, so you can jump in. It's Walk-Ons on Sunday. We're back on the road watching the selection show and then our selection special on Sunday night.
One more question.
Okay.
How many teams from the SEC will be going to the tournament?
8, unless Vandy wins this thing, but 8.
8. And
you agree? I think
I
Mississippi
do
State's
agree.
in regardless of what happens today.
Yeah, Mississippi State is in. I don't think they're going to go very far. But of the teams out of this league that I think can go deep, I already mentioned Alabama to you. But a team that I really like because I think this guy's done such an amazing job coaching. I like this Buzz Williams. I like the way Texas A&M plays. They play good at both ends of the floor. They're not flashy. Alabama to me is very flashy.
Right.
I mean, if they get back shooting threes, and I think they will, like you here at the arena today, because that arena I think fits everybody.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a good play. I saw a lot of that yesterday. A lot of shots were made. So I'm going to predict Alabama is going to find their way with the 3-pointers and do extremely well. Now, I would ask you both this. Do you think that it's a good thing if Alabama made it to Sunday, knowing they're already a 1 seed?
I think what would be good for Alabama is to play well, win today, play well tomorrow, shoot it well, lose a tight game, and have fresher legs. I don't think the SEC championship, regular season championship, much more important.
But see, Herb, I mean, you've had the week off. So playing 3 games and then having virtually another, if they are Thursday team, or I think it's Thursday in Birmingham, right?
Yes,
Thursday, Saturday. You get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you get those 3 days off again, and you don't have to travel like everybody else, right?
Yeah, you're just up the street.
You're just up the street, so you can go in whenever you want.
Yeah.
Hell, you could stay in your own bed if you want. If they wanted to
Yeah.
bump 50 minutes every day,
Right.
I guess there's probably some rule that makes you go to the hotel or something and not stay in your own bed, but they would take advantage of that, not having to travel as much too. I'm okay playing. And this is a rare situation of only playing 3 and not that 4th game. Only playing 3. You're going to have to play 2 in 3 days anyway when you get to the tournament. I think it could be a good thing.
Well,
I have no problem winning.
Let's face it, the regular season, you were playing twice a week. You play on Wednesday night or Tuesday night, and you come back on Saturday.
That's right.
So,
you know what I didn't know this until I read it today. And listen, Wimp Sanderson did a lot of great things, but Nate Oates joined CM Newton. They're the only coaches in Alabama history to win multiple regular season championships in the SEC. Now, winning this tournament, Wimp was the best at winning this tournament. He was really good at it.
Yep.
But winning the regular season, and back in the day, it used to be home and away with everybody when it was a 10-team league. You played 18 games home and away, and I mean, it was a true champion. That regular season championship means a ton to me.
Mm-hmm.
And now only CM Newton, 74 to 76, he won a couple. And now Nate Oates, the only ones to win multiple regular season championships as a coach at Alabama.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me either until I read it today.
Good piece of trivia.
Yeah.
Well, as much as we love Wimp, I think when it's all said and done, Nate Oates is going to go down as the best coach in Alabama history. I mean, it's trending that way at least.
Yeah. And, is it fair to compare somebody from the 70s versus somebody from 2023? I'm not so sure because, as I mentioned earlier, the game is not the same as it,
But neither's
shot
television. But hell, you're better than anybody that ever goes up here in 2023.
You can't blame NIL because Wimp was paying plenty of them.
Oh, don't go there. If he's listening in, he's gonna call you for sure.
He's given us some stories before.
No, he's one of the best, and he did it at a high level for a long period of time. CM ended up leaving, and we'll see how long Nate can hang around and keep it at this level. And that really, to me, is the testament of time. All right, that's already a text from Wimp already right there.
Right there. He's after you.
It's brought to you by our friend Dr. B. Hey, this man's hair looks fantastic. I don't have any hair, but LT's hair is grown 14%.
Yeah. So Herbie, I started to thin a little bit. I didn't notice until we started this venture.
Mm-hmm.
When I was turning to the side, I noticed I was thinning out a little bit. So I asked around. Dr. Beckenstein everyone said, go see him. Went to see Dr. B. My hair already 14% thicker. How about that?
That's great.
Yeah. I do my treatment 3 times a week from the couch, just sitting on the couch, watching TV. Dr. Beckenstein takes pride in treating each patient personally, applying his expertise to produce those quality results for more than 20 years. Women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He uses that experience, his advanced training, to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. B today, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. And tell Dr. B the next round sent you.
UAB wins last night, 2:00 today in the semifinals out in Frisco, Texas against North Texas. That's on CBS Sports Network. Auburn gets beat last night by Arkansas, 76-73. We'll talk to Justin Hokanson, who joins us on the set, the Kickin' and Cooler setup here on the road at Losers in Nashville, Tennessee on the next round.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
For 50 years, our friends at Wayne's have been doing things around your house that you don't have time to do. Warm weather is coming. You want that lawn looking great. You want mosquitoes not around. Our friends at Wayne's, they can help you out. Right now, they will do $50 off for each of those services to continue to celebrate their 50th anniversary. Again, our friends at Wayne's, they take care of all of us here on the next round. You don't want those mosquitoes. You want the lawn looking great. Call them today, 866-WAYNES1 or call Waynes.com.
There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with walk-ons.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
Hey, college sports fans, are you looking for a debit card branded with your favorite team? Check out Fan Cards. They offer more than 30 officially licensed MasterCard debit cards for the biggest teams, like Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU. You can show your team pride while managing your finances. Plus, set up direct deposit for chances to win tickets to see your favorite team play. Visit myfancard.com to learn more and sign up today. That's myfancard.com, the ultimate way to support your team and manage your money.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Back with you on The Next Round, live just off Broadway at Losers on their top floor, just down the street from Bridgestone, where the SEC basketball tournament hits the quarterfinals today. Jim Dunaway, Justin Hokanson. You'll hear from Justin in just a second on 3 Sports, Lance Taylor. And over on the far side, let's bring in Ryan Brown.
What's up, Hoke?
What's up?
Thanks for filling in for me.
Ryan Brown's got no voice today, but he's here to tell you about our friends at Manscaped.
Well, listen, when you're using Manscaped, one of the things I love with Manscaped is the beard trimmer. It's the beard hedger. And, you know, when you're trying to wear a beard, a lot of times you want to keep it trimmed down, looking good. What you do not want are those attachments that just pop on there, because they also pop off and it can gap your beard and make it look bad. So I like the beard hedger from Manscaped. Manscaped.com. We're going to help you save too. So listen up how you can save with Manscaped. Right now, they also want to tell you they've introduced a brand new Weed Whacker 2.0. The Weed Whacker takes care of the ear hair, nose hair, so you don't look like the old man with ear hair, nose hair sticking out. Also, don't forget the lawnmower for the undercarriage there. Don't use the same razor for the undercarriage that you use for your face. That's where the beard hedger comes in. All of that is available right now at Manscaped. And we're giving you a great deal. Manscaped.com. Manscaped.com. Code TNR is going to do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to help you save 20% off your entire order for any of their things there. And number 2, we're going to pay the shipping and handling. So you're going to save big when you go to manscaped.com. Use code TNR at checkout. Save 20%. We'll pay the shipping and handling. Where it's the beard hedger, whether it's the brand new redesigned Weed Whacker 2.0, or whether it's the lawnmower for the underneath areas, you can get them all. Manscaped.com, manscaped.com, code TNR to save 20%, and we'll pay the shipping and handling.
You need to go buy one right now just because Brown got through that read with that voice. And you ever wonder if you use the same device for the undercarriage, the ball region, and your face for the beard, you end up getting sick like Brown does.
Yes.
Yeah, those bacterial infections there.
I remember our show from Indianapolis right before the national championship, Georgia and Alabama, and Brown had to take over for me to do my reads. Brown, if I need to pinch hit for you, I got you.
That's LT's nice way of saying you did a crappy job.
No, that's not. I just know how difficult it is.
Justin Hokanson is here with On 3 Sports. And Hoke, we'll talk a little football here at the end of the segment, but let's start with basketball. And I mean, Bruce was apologetic because Auburn fans, so many of them live here in Nashville. The turnout is so great, whether you're playing Vandy or here at the SEC tournament. And he felt bad that Auburn did not advance last night. But a big picture, and LT brought this up early on, those were 2 like teams playing each other last night, both 8, 9, 10 seeds, wherever the committee ends up putting them, and both in the NCAA tournament. there were a lot of similarities in those two teams that played each other last night.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be. I thought coming in it was going to be an interesting game because you had Arkansas, who's got all this talent, and I thought underachieved this year. I think everybody would agree with that. And you wondered where they were going to be at from a mental standpoint. Lost 3 in a row. Are they coming in trying to prove themselves? Or are they coming in just, hey, going through the motions, some guys getting ready for the draft? And they came out on fire. I mean, they came out with a ton of energy. And I thought what Bruce said after the game, I kind of agreed with. Somebody asked him about Auburn's effort and energy. And he said, look, don't question our effort and energy. Give Arkansas credit. And I thought that was true. I thought Arkansas in the beginning of the first half, beginning of the second half was just fantastic. I mean, that 10-2 run in the first half to start the game, 11-2 run to start the second half. I mean, that's what is that, plus 17. So Auburn's having to make up 17 points from there on out the rest of the game. And it was just really tough to do.
Well, and, down 15 for Auburn to scratch, claw, come back, take a lead with 41 seconds to go, and being doubled up on the glass. I mean, I've just never seen two like teams when you get doubled up on the glass to have an opportunity to win a game.
Yeah, I think Arkansas, their turnovers certainly gave Auburn some extra possessions. I think Arkansas had about 17, 18 turnovers. 19 turnovers. But, yeah, I mean, everywhere else, look, that's what Arkansas is capable of. Big guards, talented team against Auburn, who's undersized at a lot of positions. That's a tough matchup and a physical matchup that Arkansas is going to have the favor on. And so, yeah, when it was 15 with 14 minutes left, I thought, I don't really see how they come back in this game. I mean, there was nothing really going Auburn's way to make that kind of comeback. But, man, they did it. And I'm not sure how they did it to get a 1-point lead with 40 seconds left.
And such a weird season, too, because up 17 in Coleman, they lose that game, down 15, the opportunity to win this game. It's just been one of those years in the SEC.
Yeah, and then they were down 16-17 at Morgantown in this right at the beginning of the second half, came all the way back and had multiple chances in the last couple of minutes to win that game. So that's their 7th loss by 5 points or less of their 12 losses.
We love him, and he joins us every week. He's part of our NIL deal, Wendell Green Jr. But the play design was perfect. Got a really good look at the end. Auburn had a shot at the end to beat Alabama in regulation that didn't go in. There's been a couple of times this year that you design a play at the end to get a chance to win it, and those shots haven't always gone in. Do you trust Wendell when we get to the tournament now with a chance if you got one shot to either tie it or win it? Do you still draw it up for him, or is there anybody else you want to draw it up for on that team? I would stick with Wendell. But I'm interested to see what you think. You see a lot more of this team than I do.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning, actually, because he's not, percentage-wise, he's not one of the best three-point shooters. Now, that's because he takes more and he takes tough ones. I think in that situation, when you only have 3.5 seconds, I don't mind that call because if you need a tough three, he's probably who I'd go to. He can get a three off and make a deep three if it's got to be. Katie's can be pretty good. Jalen's got a good percentage. But in that situation, I'm probably going to Wendell because I don't know how open that looks gonna be.
I would just tell you, and I know his percentage numbers is probably not as good or better, but KD's swagger. I mean, there's just something about that kid when he's on, and he's on a heater right now. There's just something about that kid who it seemed like he could fall off a mountain and land safely down at the bottom of a mountain on $1 million cash prize or something. He seems to always land on his feet when he's on a heater like this, and he seems to be riding one of those right now.
I mean, with KD, I don't even know if the coaches know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows when he's going to go off. I mean, Tuscaloosa, he goes off. He comes out today, and it was kind of unbelievable. I mean, when he stepped on the court last night, his energy was just. I mean, it was so much more than even the Auburn team. He elevated the entire team and was matching what Arkansas was doing. It was incredible. I mean, he was plus 15 or something for the game. I mean, he was remarkable last night, but with KD, you could come out the next game and he could play 8 minutes and have no points. So that's KD, but when he's on, he's unbelievable, and he can do that for your team.
So I saw something this morning, and I wonder if you can confirm this. We're big Bruce Pearl fans. We all agree he's a great coach, great ambassador for the university. But I saw in the 6 tournaments he's coached, SEC tournaments, he's won 1. And the other 5 times he's lost in the first round.
Yeah, so if you look at I think he just coached his 9th SEC tournament at Auburn. 2, he had the COVID cancel and then the self-imposed. Yep. So he missed 2. So he's coached 7. 5 of those have been one and done. The other one was a championship. The other one was his very first season when they won 3 games.
Oh, yeah.
When they beat Texas A&M, Mississippi State, LSU, and then lost to Kentucky. So he shocked everybody. So first year, and then that one. So yeah, it's been a little feast or famine, but recently, yeah, I mean 2 straight in the 2 years they've won the regular season title, they've been 1-2. Now granted, that the beginning of him trying to build the program. The next year was Tennessee. Again, they were not very good. Really, you could look at the Alabama loss and then the A&M loss last year. I think where you could say they had the bye, they had the better team, higher seed, and they lost. This one was a pretty even game. They lost by 3. So if you break it down, it's not as bad as it would seem if you break it down in terms of where the program was when the losses happened, things like that.
Justin Hokanson on 3 Sports, Auburn Live. Before we continue the conversation, 2 things. Our friends at Kickin' It Coolers, the coastal kicker up here, easy to take to the beach, the lake, or the river this summer. So go ahead and look for that in stores around you. Kickin' It Coolers, or you can look them up online on how you can get the Kickin' It Coolers. They're bringing you part of our coverage here from Nashville. And if you want to subscribe to Auburn Live on 3 Sports, how do we do that?
Yeah, go to auburnlive.com, subscribe. We just got done running a deal, so I don't think that's going on, but I think you can get it for $30, gets you access through the end of August.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good deal. So auburnlive.com, go subscribe. And we're always running like a 7-day free trial. So go check it out.
Yeah, go check that out there. Justin Hokanson with us for the rest of this segment here. We'll get to football in a moment. But now for Auburn, we felt like Tennessee, and I think you agree with us, that's a lock for the NCAA tournament now. No sweat on Selection Sunday. But where do you think this team is right now as you wait and see what the road's going to look like, where you're going to end up going?
That's a tough question. They've had so many close losses and they've fought back, whether it's big deficits or coming back from the Alabama game to beat Tennessee. So clearly they've shown themselves to have, the mental aptitude to keep getting off the mat. But I do wonder after that one in a tournament play, now I do wonder where they're going to be at that first round game. I was talking to, Brownie. I just said, I think going into that first round game of the NCAA tournament, it's just going to be somehow, some way, find a way to win the game. And then you can build confidence off that. But it's a game they could go in and win. They could lose that game by 10. I don't know. A lot's going to depend on the matchup. I don't think the location matters much, but I think the matchup is huge for this team. But they've shown the ability to get off the mat a bunch. So I expect them to come out, fight hard. You got a bunch of guys that, a lot of them will be coming back next year. You have some guys that'll move on. So I don't know. I don't know where they're going to be at mental. You can only get off the mat so many times. I mean, Bruce has talked about this team being discouraged at times, and so they're probably super down right now. And I don't know where they'll be. I guess you got a little time off. You got the weekend. You can practice, get yourself back ready to play. I guess next Thursday, Friday. I think they'll be in a decent place.
So where do you guys think they'll be seated?
I think they'll be a 10.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean they were 8. They were most. I would say most were 8, 9, but now you lose that one. I think you're looking at a 10 seed, which is not terrible, right? You get the 2 potentially and not a 1.
Yeah,
I think I would rather be a 10 than I would a 9.
I mean, at that point, 8, 9, 7, 10. What's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference? And at 7-10, it's going to be kind of like the game was yesterday. Arkansas was a 3.5 point favorite. It'll be, either way, Auburn will be a slight favorite or a slight dog. So it'll be basically a toss up.
Yeah. I don't like to be the 7. Because then I could catch a Florida Atlantic 10, right, who's a really good team, but it's not a name brand. I like the 10-7 because usually you're playing a major conference team that's had some high points and low points like you have to be a 7 seed. I like 10-7 and then taking my chances with a 2, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, I think if you can stay away from a 1, because you're talking about the cream of the crop, the most talented teams. That's where Auburn, from a matchup perspective, that might be really tough to overcome. But maybe get you a 2 seed. And see what happens. But yeah, 8, 9, 7, 10, it doesn't matter with this team.
Yeah. So we'll talk a little football right after LT tells us about our friends at Bromberg's. Hugh Freeze hopes to be chasing a ring sooner rather than later down on the plains. If you're looking for that diamond ring to pop the question, Bromberg's has been doing it for almost 2 centuries.
1832. Since 1832, family owned and operated. They are your diamond specialists. 2 great locations, Mountain Brook and the Summit. If you're thinking about popping the question, get in, see the diamond specialist. Nothing like giving or getting that silver box from our friends at Bromberg's. And don't forget, Bromberg's thrilled to be the official Oris jeweler, introduce another fine timekeeping brand to the Birmingham community. Oris was founded in the Swiss town of Holstein back in 1984, continue to say that, 1904. Today, Oris is one of the small handful of Swiss watch brands that makes only mechanical watches. Mechanical watch, a thing of beauty designed according to the principles that have been around for generations and will continue long into the future. An Oris watch, an item built to last and provide a lifetime of enjoyment. For more information and to view these beautiful watches, Brombergs.com/watches/Oris.
Some Alabama fans are in here early. You guys ready for the game? Yeah. Heading over there. We got a great special running on kicking and coolers. Remember Capri Sun likes when you were a kid? 6% ABV. So 6 for $12, but I wouldn't drink 6 of them or you won't be able to see the second half. Kicking and coolers, great live crowd here at Losers. Doors are open now. We'll talk more Alabama. They go at 12 noon to start the SEC.
I'm not saying
tournament.
to bring contraband into Bridgestone, but they're not serving.
They're not.
So this
They're
would be
not?
something a couple women could throw those in their purse.
Oh, purse, LT. I'm just saying right here. Take those things from 36 to 38 and walk in with a couple of kicking and coolers.
Can you guys explain to me what the deal with that is? Because if the majority of institutions serve, why would you not serve in a neutral site?
It's always been an SEC thing so far. They don't do it in Atlanta for football either.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, they don't do it. It's just an SEC thing.
I ran into some fans walking out that made that comment. They weren't thrilled.
Yeah,
they were not thrilled.
I mean, you can get it in a lot of stadiums now, almost all of them. Every bowl game you go to, likely every NCAA tournament destination you go to, because we don't play them on campus anymore. It is it's
strange.
It's a weird thing. It'll change.
It's an easy money maker too.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I wanted to ask you, Hoke. I mean, Greg Sankey's got a news conference today at 5:30. He does this all the time. It's not like this, not like there's going to be some big announcement there. But when do you think we hear football wise that it's going to be a 9-game schedule and we're going to go away with divisions next year? Because I don't think they've officially announced that yet, have they?
I don't think so. I mean, that seems like where it's going. I don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're all assuming it's going to be that.
Yeah.
Heck, we've already heard from some coaches who the 3 permanents are going to be. Have you heard that Auburn's are? I mean, I know Ross Dellinger has reported some stuff, and Nick Saban and Brian Kelly have leaked out who they think Alabama and LSU's are. So that gives you a little piece of the puzzle for Auburn. We know it's going to be Alabama and Georgia. Do you believe it's going to be Vandy as the third one?
I mean, that makes some sense. I talked to John Cohen a couple of weeks ago, and he kind of hinted that they had a feeling of who their 3 would be if it were 9. And then, of course, you have the Ross Dellinger report that comes out and has those 3. It makes some sense. And if that's the way it works out, that's going to be solely because of Alabama and Georgia's recent success. And then they're saying, well, that's, you can't now we got to go the other way with it. So they would get Vanderbilt solely because of what Alabama and Georgia have done over the last 5, 6, 7 years.
If you just start counting back national champions, right? I mean, or championship games, you get a lot of Georgia and Alabama in there. So I don't think anybody, at least I don't think that's a gimme for Auburn to throw Vandy in there with those 2 games. But as an Auburn fan, okay, and I know Vandy doesn't excite a lot of people, but if you're, and I've mentioned this here in Nashville, Tennessee, back when I was young, the number of Auburn people that lived in Atlanta was tremendous. I mean, I don't know anything about the Auburn Alumni Association, but in Atlanta, that used to be huge.
Yeah.
Like, in fact, I thought there were as many Auburn fans in Atlanta sometimes or more than there were Georgia Tech or any other fan base other than Georgia. Here in Nashville now, I think Nashville in 2023 is what Atlanta was for Auburn graduates back in the 1990s. I think there's a huge base here, and having them down the street for an away game where you can just go down there and watch them, I think would be an advantage for Auburn.
Oh, it'd be huge. I mean, for Auburn fans and the fan base, it would be ideal. Because you're right, Atlanta's still that way, but Nashville is growing in terms of the amount of Auburn fans that are here. I mean, great crowd last night. I mean, the basketball game they played in Memorial a couple weeks ago was an Auburn home game. So yeah, for Auburn that'd be perfect. You get Alabama, Georgia. I mean, on the field, obviously you get Vanderbilt, which should be a reprieve from most of the SEC teams you're going to play. And then, get to travel to Nashville most of the time, have a bunch of fans here. That's literally a perfect scenario, I think, for Auburn, considering you're going to get Alabama and Georgia. Best case scenario would be Vanderbilt.
I hate to say this is going to be blasphemous in the city of Nashville, but they should be thrown out of the league unless they build a new stadium.
They do need more seats for the visiting team. Really. Yeah.
I mean, they really do. I mean, that is by far the worst stadium in the SEC.
By far.
And it's one of the best SEC towns.
Yep. I mean, they do need a new stadium. And I'm not joking. Just for, if Auburn wants to take 30,000 fans to a game in Nashville, they probably can with the limited number of Vandy fans, but it needs to be easier. Take more fans on the road. I agree with you. It would be a nice little remodel 45,000 seat stadium.
How many Vandy fans were at the basketball game last night?
Don't know. I wasn't in there.
I mean, I wasn't either. I was just, I mean, it's to have the season they're having. I saw a little bit on TV, and I thought,
It didn't
if
look
not
like a
now,
lot.
when?
Yeah.
Like, if, you know,
That's
you're
right.
in your city. If you don't have, 6,000 or 7,000 Vanderbilt fans there, what do you, what are you doing at that point?
And especially as hot as they are and what they could accomplish if they win this thing.
Well, there won't be any today. It'll all be Kentucky.
Yeah.
But if they win today, if they pull the upset, they've won 9 of 10. If they're able to beat Kentucky, I think they get in the NCAA tournament. On top of that, I think their fans probably wake up and show up tomorrow.
One more note. Thank you to our friends at Kickin' It Coolers as we're up here in Nashville. One more question for Justin Hokanson before he leaves us, and we appreciate your lengthy stay with us. Spring break off. Football gets back at it next week. Is there one note that you think was really important from the first few practices, or one thing you're looking forward to in the next week? We know quarterbacks will not be decided anytime soon. What are you watching as we move to the second week of camp?
Yeah, quarterback's not going to be decided anytime soon. That's for sure. I don't know. They had 3 practices. They only got in pads once, and then they had spring break. So it's hard to take a ton from what they've done. We heard a little bit about tempo and how fast they're running at practice. That was kind of interesting because we've heard Hugh Freeze and Philip Montgomery talking about they've run tempo, but they've kind of pared things back at times over the last few years and seasons with them. But it sounds like they're running with their hair on fire during practice. So I don't know if that's indicative of what they're going to do in games, or if they're just trying to get their defense prepared, if they want to play like that to be prepared. So that was probably an interesting note. And then there's a lot to be decided in terms of starters and positions, and a lot of that still hasn't been decided yet. But I think the tempo is interesting. And then I'm watching a lot of the vibe of the team, whether it's interviews with us, whether it's content that Auburn football is putting out. I'm watching a lot of that and sort of thinking about the last couple of years and trying to sort of compare, because you have a lot of coach speak, but what I think is interesting is how the players are responding. I mean, you heard Brian Harsin and that staff say a lot of stuff, right? But it didn't translate. So I'm kind of trying to pay attention to what the players are saying and kind of their mode, their mental state, and sort of how they're maybe accepting what this new staff is saying versus maybe how they were accepting, because clearly there was a disconnect.
Yeah.
And so I'm sort of looking now going, are they bought in to what's being said now, and is there that disconnect compared to where it was? Trying to figure that out.
Has Hugh been visible around Auburn?
I haven't seen him a lot. I mean, I think he's probably deep dive into football and probably hadn't left that office much. I've seen a couple of pictures. I think he was out for his daughter's birthday, restaurant, stuff like that. But I mean, I would imagine he's stuck in that office trying to figure out this roster and team, and you got another portal window coming. They'll bring more guys in.
I've got a high expectation. I think they win 8 games this year.
It depends on quarterback.
Yeah. I just think
there's an
Ashford
answer.
and his system has got so much potential.
He does. But but Robbie's got a ways to go. I mean, Robbie, not just on the field, off the field, like he's got to grow up and keep developing, which every kid does. It's not a slight on Robbie, but he's got to make some ground. I think they're going to bring in a portal quarterback in the spring, maybe 2. I mean, I think they need
Grayson
more
McCall?
competition there. Maybe another guy. Maybe another guy. I mean,
maybe.
McCall's an interesting thing because there's
Don't get behind his paywall, man.
I just wonder what McCall is worth in NIL dollars.
Yeah, there's more. There's an issue there that there's an academic thing that is currently kind of a roadblock for him. When you have these kids that have a degree and they're so far along, and if you can't transfer over, it becomes an issue. And so that's kind of the issue with him is academically, literally, can he bring enough credits over to be that graduate guy? And so I don't know whether it's him, whether it's somebody else that hasn't entered the portal that they can, back channel it,
I'm sure
figure
they
it
can
out,
find some credits.
They're trying. They're trying. But yeah, I would think 1 or 2 portal quarterbacks are coming in. After
1 or
spring.
2,
I do.
says the guy from Auburn Live. He's Justin Hokanson on 3 Sports, man. Thank you. Is this the home office of On 3 up here?
Yeah.
Nashville. Do you have to go by and see the headquarters?
I think I'm gonna go by this afternoon and say hey.
Yeah, it's always good.
Yeah.
We taught you well as an intern.
Yeah.
Go say hi to the big boss.
Go say hey.
Before LT tells us about Gutter Cap, I will tell you, all of you guys, this guy right here, his nickname is Blow Pop from back in the day. Blow Pop, one of the great nicknames of all time from when I was a kid. Big Alabama fan.
Wow, what's the origin of that nickname?
Leadoff hitter. I don't know how he got it. Did you used to have a blow pop when you'd play? Yeah, blow pop in his cheek as he hit Little League.
Wow.
How about that? Oh, we rolled in Alabaster, man. We had a great Little League ballpark.
Some great nicknames. What was the name of the coach you told us last week?
We had Bozo.
Bozo.
Yep. True guy. Bozo Johnson. Yep. Absolutely.
Perfect.
He was the head.
Can't make it up.
Little League coach. It was a great town back in the day, man. Alabaster, before it became all fancy and football champions. Our friends at Gutter Cap, you can get your house fancy. Cap those gutters one time.
823-2212. That is the number. Look, the last thing you want to do on the weekends, the weekend is here. You've been working all week. You don't want to get that dangerous ladder out. Cap it. Don't snap it. 823-2212. Gutter Cap is a patented aluminum cover system. It fits over most existing gutters. It will keep debris out forever. It's got a lifetime warranty. Again, call my good friend Chris Stewart today, 823-2212, or online, guttercapbirmingham.com.
Kicking it Coolers, the Coastal Kicker. It's part of our coverage here from Nashville. We're at Losers just off of Broadway, getting ready for Alabama to kick things off at 12 noon. The Tide, an 8-point favorite today against Mississippi State, two of the best defensive teams in the country. We'll talk a little football with Josh Pate. We see him over in the wings. 24/7's Josh Pate, the one and only late kick, replaces Hokanson next on TNR.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
For 50 years, our friends at Wayne's have been doing things around your house that you don't have time to do. Warm weather is coming. You want that lawn looking great. You want mosquitoes not around. Our friends at Wayne's, they can help you out. Right now, they will do $50 off for each of those services to continue to celebrate their 50th anniversary. Again, our friends at Wayne's, they take care of all of us here on the next round. You don't want those mosquitoes. You want the lawn looking great. Call them today, 866-WAYNES1, or call waynes.com. Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Hey, college sports fans, are you looking for a debit card branded with your favorite team? Check out Fan Cards. They offer more than 30 officially licensed MasterCard debit cards for the biggest teams, like Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU. You can show your team pride while managing your finances. Plus, set up direct deposit for chances to win tickets to see your favorite team play. Visit myfancard.com to learn more and sign up today. That's myfancard.com, the ultimate way to support your team and manage your money.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Don't let a roof problem disrupt your football Saturday or Sunday. Call Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. Locally owned at 205-542-3531. Greg wants to give you a free no-cost inspection. Free, no cost, no obligation. 205-542-3531. He can also pressure wash your metal roofing. It's easy to see why his company's so successful. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and insurance companies trust him. You should too. 205-542-3531 or just look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City.
Back with you from Losers just off Broadway. Alabama goes at noon today. Some of the Bama fans are out here right now. A little experiment right here.
Let's do it.
A free $20 gift card, but it's Tennessee Orange. Anybody want it?
Oh, she'll take it.
Kick her off the team. Brown, can I give it to her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on through.
Everybody's got a price, though.
Yeah. We can give it to her.
Can you believe an Alabama fan for $20?
Josh Pate, he makes a living on
I've
stuff
done
like
a lot more for a lot less.
Yeah.
Are you going to burn it? Oh,
No,
are you going to take it and cut it up and throw it away? Well, let's don't do that. We'll donate to charity.
yeah. I'll take it to her.
Yeah, take it
Hey,
to her.
so college sports fans, sorry about my voice here, Josh.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it's really
That's
bad.
a lot of money in front of me right now.
It is. It is. So Pate's holding them. Hold some of those up, Pate,
Yeah.
so we can see them. Florida, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, South Carolina. You do a lot of things. You use your debit card. You love your favorite team. They come together with fan cards. More than 30 officially licensed debit cards for the biggest teams, including Alabama and Auburn. Set up direct deposit for chances to win game tickets. And go get everything at myfancard.com. They're bringing you our coverage from Nashville for the SEC basketball tournament. Myfancard.com.
Can we start with your real knowledge?
Yeah, let's do it.
Real quick, though. Somewhere in our sales office right now, someone is screaming. Kelsey's her name, screaming, "No, Dunaway, you can't give them away."
You just did.
Yeah, too late, Dunaway.
So randomly, Pate, I had this question for Brown on the way up yesterday. And I said, do you think Europe has tornadoes?
Do you think Europe has tornadoes?
Well, I was just wondering to myself, and I know the answer now because, Google's an amazing thing.
People in Europe, do you think Americans tuck their shirt in? That's how they talk about us over there.
Okay.
This is how we talk about Europeans.
Okay.
Yeah, they have them. It's just not nearly as plentiful. That's
Okay.
why
You're right.
the next excursion I take to Europe to storm chase will be the first. But I'm not ruling it out now. I'm just saying it's really, really hard when the 48-hour forecast comes out and, James Spann starts coloring the area orange instead of just yellow. It's hard for me to just hop over there.
Okay.
But it happens.
So yeah, Brown bored me so bad that I did a bunch of tornado. I got stuck in that rabbit hole. But the United States has more tornadoes than Australia, Europe. I forgot the other country combined.
Yeah, it's the place to be if you love destruction. And
I didn't realize this.
But wait, why is that? I mean, is it weather, or do we just report them more?
Look, I don't want to get into
the
Pacific
rolling
oscillation
hills
patterns and everything, but yeah, oceanically, this is the place to be.
Yeah.
It all starts in the ocean, Dunaway.
Okay, last thing I'll say about tornadoes, but I didn't realize this either. All 50 states have had a tornado.
Even Maine.
Isn't that crazy?
Like what's your favorite Alaska tornado story? It happens though.
I mean, you would think you would have to worry about blizzard and having to live in the cold.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Freaking tornado.
Oh, Josh Pate's with us. Late Kick Josh. You see him on all the platforms. You see us and 24/7 Sports and all the stuff there. Academy's his big sponsor, so I'll give them some love as you come in. Surprised you're not logoed up with them and everything.
Well, you don't know where I bought this.
Yeah, I bet I did.
I am shocked you.
I bet I did.
I am shocked you have a white tee on.
Yeah.
Really, really underneath. We had the Academy folks in town yesterday. Man, they do some really, really big things with the SEC. If you've been at the games, you've seen the halftime interaction. You've seen they said they had a lot of the inner cities boys teams over there yesterday playing in front of 20,000 people. And they got really, really into it.
Yeah.
Probably one of the highlights of their lives. So, yeah, it's been really fun hanging out.
Oh,
with
I
them.
would get into it too.
Yeah.
I mean, anything in front of 20,000 people. So what's big on your radar right now? Greg Sankey's speaking today, 5:30 for the media that wants to go over to Bridgestone and talk anything with him. And I, knowing this conference that he will get less basketball questions and more football questions. When do we officially announce? I asked this to Hoke. We officially announced 9 teams, no divisions yet. I don't think it's official yet, is it?
I caught myself the other day talking about it as if it were already announced instead of a formality. But no, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it hasn't been etched in stone anywhere. I think it's roundly assumed. I think many more people right now, including certain head coaches in certain areas really close to you guys, are more concerned with who are our permanent 3. And, I've been fielding a lot of questions about why is Nick Saban so up in arms about that? They already play those 3 teams every year, which is true. It's also absent a lot of context. I understood where he was coming from. And no one's about to tell me, and you're asking me what's been on my radar, this is it. No one's about to tell me Nick Saban or even like Kirby Smart or any of these guys are shying away from competition. We had him at Media Days last year, Nick Saban, and he's banging this drum for a long time. You guys have had him on your show say a number of times, I want to go to a 9-game conference schedule. He's even suggested a 10-game conference schedule because I think these guys are not immune to looking up in the crowd just as we are and seeing those chunks of empty seats and understanding really ultimately what that means for the 10, 15-year bottom line trajectory of the sport. They're not in the football business. head coaches are not in the football business. They're in the entertainment business. They are football coaches. And without the entertainment aspect, you're not worth $9 million a year. That television media rights deal, Greg Sankey will probably talk about it today. That's not a 9 or 10 figure deal because people don't care as much anymore. And I know that it's a slippery slope to just go apples to apples, college football to NASCAR or pro wrestling of the late 90s. But I always think about those entities because I was sucked into NASCAR and pro wrestling in the late 90s.
Right.
And I, 7 or 8 years later, wasn't watching either anymore. And different people have different reasons, but I felt like those products left me. And I think it's a really, really big mistake to think that the product of college football couldn't leave its core audience. That is absolutely a possibility. It doesn't happen overnight, and you don't lose all of it. But even if you just shaved 15%, that is catastrophic to what you're trying to negotiate and what you're trying to maintain financially.
Yeah, but I think, and I think you guys would agree, college football is getting better. I mean, when we talk about, Alabama's opponents with LSU and Auburn and Tennessee, and then imagine certain seasons you could have Georgia on that schedule. You could have Florida.
But
and then he's always going
to be fair though,
out of conference difficult games.
To be fair though, you're a big NFL guy first, college football second. You always have been.
Yep.
And it's becoming more NFL like. I'm a college football guy, NFL guy, and there are some people like me who yearn for smaller conferences and the old the bowls used to mean a little something more to me that season. I used to like all the bowls. I don't watch as many bowl games anymore. It's all about the college football playoff for me now. And so I can see why you think it's getting better. There are people like me who think, God, there's a little nostalgia I miss in college football.
I think you want 12. I think 12 is a good number for a college football playoff.
I hate, independent of the playoff, because I hate playoff expansion, but playoff expansion or not, just increasing the amount of good games on the schedule is a great thing to me in a vacuum. So when we look down the road, it used to be crazy to suggest that a kid would opt out of a bowl game, right? Then the dynamic changed, and now it's commonplace for people to opt out of bowl games. Right now, people think it's crazy if a kid would ever opt out of a playoff game because it hasn't happened. And in the 12-team model, I think eventually it'll happen, but it sounds crazy right now. So I'll grant you that. But what I get concerned about is when you start stacking those schedules and you just think about how entertaining it's going to be to me and you're right. What terrifies me sometimes is to think about the player's perspective, because I've talked to some of them off the record about it, and they're not nearly as just stoked about it as the viewer at home about loading up a bunch more collisions on their body with very, very little financial retribution, at least as far as it stands right now. They're not nearly as excited about that. And what concerns me one day is some player or a group of 5 or 10 or 15 players all of a sudden say, I don't know if I want to play 17 games. And 10 of which are against the 20 most talented rosters in the country just to win a championship that you're telling me is supposed to mean a lot to me, but my bank account is not nearly as big as those guys who are playing on Sunday. Maybe I'll just save myself a little bit for that Sunday game. If you could guarantee me that would never happen, I'm fully on board with loading up the schedules.
If I'm a general manager and we know that talent outweighs and guys are going to get drafted high if they're really, really good. But if a guy opts out of a playoff, I'm like, hey, look, you got to play 17 for us at least.
Okay, you say that, but let's use Jalen Carter, for example. If you're the Houston Texans or the Indianapolis Colts or somebody who may suck whenever that ever happens in the playoffs, you may look at it and go, I question his motor. And then you get through the combine, you interview the kid, then you're going to go, you know what? I don't care if he played in the playoffs or not. He's the best defensive tackle. He's going to have 2 blockers on Sunday for me. That's a college problem. It's not my Houston Texan problem anymore. And they'll look over it like that.
I'm going to worry about that second contract. Once he gets paid, though, he gets that guaranteed money. Is he going to drift?
I think the other thing is there are 32 of those organizations. Even if 23 of them feel that way, you've got enough desperation in that league, especially at the top end of the draft. And also, if that kid opts out of the playoff, I, as a GM, could look and say, nope, red X, cross him off. And then I interact with him over several months, and he sells me on the fact that, look, I grew up dead broke. My family's still dead broke. I made a decision. I'm telling you, I've got the maturation to understand the gravity of my decision, but I also know that my family needs me to make it at the next level, and that's what went behind the decision. And if you think that's a character concern, that's fine, but I'm telling you, I'll be the highest character guy in your organization. You could easily sway opinions.
Okay, if you could control it, A, back to the BCS, 2 teams. B, what we've currently got 4, or C, 12.
I would go back to BCS. And the reason I would do it, is because, see, we have every other sport in the world that is playoff centric. You work backwards, basically.
Yep.
I don't know why I'm holding the Auburn and Ole Miss or Florida cards up, but that's the way the NFL works, NBA works, Major League Baseball works. I love all of them. College football has always been different to me. So I've never cared about the postseason as much as the regular season in college football. So I didn't know anyone else felt this way, and the majority still don't feel this way. But at least there are some others out there that I heard echo the sentiment and expressed it better than I did, that made me realize it's okay to just love the Saturdays in the fall and then view whatever comes at the end as kind of a caboose on the train, and you'll take whatever you get. But what I didn't like is when the caboose kind of started to become the engine, like it is in every other sport, because I don't think any other sport has what college football has in the regular season. And so what always concerned me is, well, when we start to duplicate on the front end, like every other sport does, by letting the tail wag the dog, is the dog the same?
Well, you are right. I mean, like coaches like Nick Saban, again, for example, is not going to worry about losing 3 games with that difficult schedule because they know they're going to get in.
And I get what people mean when they say, hey, an expanded playoff means more relevant games because more teams are in the playoff hunt. That's true, but that's once again a vacuum statement because it doesn't take into account that you're building a safety net under every game. Like there is no more undefeated versus undefeated. Remember those Alabama-Florida SEC championship games or Alabama-Georgia? I mean, recently we had Georgia lose and still have a safety net to drop from 1 to 4, but they had to be perfect the entire way to even buy themselves that opportunity.
Catholics versus convicts back in the day.
I mean, you don't. When are you going to have a nickname game anymore? Because there will never be a regular season game with that kind of implication. And anyone trying to tell me you'll still have those games, you are not going to care about 8-3 Iowa State versus 8-3 Kansas State with the 12 seed on the line, the same as you would a high stakes game featuring teams you know could actually win a title. It's not the same.
You're the scientist telling us another pandemic is coming. This is like depressing news for the college football fan out there.
Can you say another segment?
Yeah, let's do it.
Our friends at Odie's, we're the great losers here, just off Broadway, 2 locations, Midtown and Broadway, kicking and coolers, fan cards. We have all of this here. I feel like every time Pate touches one of these things, it's like that Woody Harrelson movie with the musicians that jump, the magicians that jump back in time, and all of a sudden he's throwing cards around and they're making things disappear. See, I think you picked up 3 and you threw 2 down. Is that what's happening?
One's
right
in
now?
my pocket. That's why.
Our great friends at Fan Cards as well. But the losers of Birmingham, great bar, great place, watering hole is Odie's, and LT's out there all the time. Tell us about Odie's.
It's a Birmingham institution. Remember, every Wednesday night we've got Odie's team trivia. Come out, get there early, enjoy some of that great food from Rodney Davis, including the award-winning wings, delicious burgers, my personal favorite, that Diablo sandwich, ice cold beer buckets full of Bud Light. Get out, see Will Haver and that great staff. It's a Birmingham institution, Odie's Tavern, Crestline Village.
Alabama goes at 12 noon today. Some of the Tide fans are here early at Losers on their way to Bridgestone. Auburn loses last night. UAB is still alive. We'll talk more with Lake Kicks, Josh Pate, coming up on the other side. Don't forget, we're here until 12 noon today, a little shorter show because the game tipping at 12 noon, and we're here at Losers. So stay with us until 12 noon. Look for the Kicking and Coolers soon. We'll tell you more about fan cards and a lot more when we come back right here on TNR to Nashville.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280.
The month of March means many of you start your outdoor season in the Deep South. That means you're outside grilling, playing in the yard, and having a great time with your family. If you want that yard to look good and not be swatting mosquitoes the entire time you are in it, you need my friends at Wayne's. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Wayne's is celebrating their 50th anniversary, and that means you get $50 off each of your new services at Wayne's. The lawn care, the termite control, and the mosquito treatments, all $50 off. Call 866-WAYNES1 or visit callwaynes.com.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
Want more of the Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Back with you here with Lake Kick Josh, and Brownie's about to roll in here and ask us his A-plus question of the day. He's going to ask Josh. A-plus is right now reworking his bathroom and kitchen.
They are, man. Actually, A-plus is in my house right now, Josh. You excited about that?
Well, I thought you were about to give me a back massage. I'm really, really excited about it.
The
voice is not A+.
The voice is far from A+. A+ Tile and Home Remodeling. It's our guy, Brad Bell. So my wife wanted to update our bathroom. Our bathroom looked like 1997 still.
Yeah,
right?
good year, but not for a bathroom.
Not a great year.
at all.
Yeah. So my wife wanted to update it. So she did a ton of homework. She's very thorough and stuff like this. She looked at reviews. She talked to people, followed up. Brad Bell's the guy she picked, and we have not made a mistake there. He has been phenomenal. So many of you have already reached out. Feel free to reach out to me on social media. Shoot me an email, Brown at Next Round Live.
Just don't get to talk to you.
If you need this information, just don't get it from my voice. 205-422-1758. 205-422-1758. That is Brad Bell. Call him, get him to come out and do an estimate. He did it for us. And one thing I learned, these one days where they come in and in one single day, they redo your bathroom. You end up paying double the price and get less quality. It makes no sense.
They're basically just covering stuff.
They
up
are.
there. Yeah.
Don't do that, man. Use my man Brad Bell, 422-1758. A+ Tile and Home Remodeling.
The A+ question of the day.
A+ question of the day. In 5 years, will there be a Pac-12?
There will be an entity on the West Coast.
Yeah.
The way you know it now, I would lean no.
Yeah. Do you think the Four Corners schools will go to the, as Dennis Dodd calls them, will go to the Big 12?
Well, the Utah AD shot that down today, so naturally I think it's about to happen.
We'll have an announcement this weekend. Yeah. Thank you for answering my question.
It's really sad. And again, you're a college football purist, and the Pac-12. There's a lot of SEC fans that don't like it, but there's just something about being up late on a Saturday night and watching Pac-12 after dark.
Well, there's something about your sport mattering coast to coast. There's something about your sport having relevance coast to coast, which goes back to what we were talking about a second ago about would I rather go back to the BCS era or have an expanded playoff or what we have now. That stuff for me is never in a vacuum. It's never just the playoff. It's what that is in a broader scope of. Because I view that happening in the same era as portal, however you feel about that, NIL, however you feel about that, and the tearing down of the regionality of conferences, however you feel about that. Like my personal preference is not to live in a world where you and I turn on a Rutgers game one night and they're playing UCLA in a conference matchup.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like any kind of college football I grew up loving.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And it starts next year.
yes, by the way. So mark your calendars accordingly. But so then if Look, here's how close we are to that happening. And it could literally, those ADs could wake up one morning feeling like the Utah AD does right now. And by the time the sun goes down, you're just stunned. It's like the stock market crash. All of a sudden, I didn't know it was coming, and now my life has changed forever. Well, out in the Pac-12, Dennis Dodd, who's I travel with a lot, he's very, very well sourced. I've eavesdropped on speakerphone on a lot of those conversations he's had. And he's reporting right now that we're on the precipice of what they call the four corner schools going to probably the Big 12. And those are the Arizona schools, Colorado, Utah. And here's really what I think it comes down to. I think it comes down to those schools reading the tea leaves of what a Washington or an Oregon are going to do. But the reality is, even if Utah and Colorado, let's just say, for example, are steadfast, we're not leaving, all it takes is one domino to fall. And then all of a sudden, everyone panics. We've seen it happen elsewhere, and there is never one isolated move in conference realignment. It seems like boom, 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 5 dominoes happen all at once, and you've got these rumblings from Florida State and Clemson over here. I have no clue how it's going to end. I don't really think there's a lot of skill. I don't really think, guys, the decision makers in the room, television executives, ADs, presidents, I don't think they know how it's going to end because there are too many moving parts. They can't see behind every curtain any better than we can.
Well, back to the wild cards you bring up. What is going to happen with Washington and Oregon?
I think right now I especially think Oregon's got to be looking around because Oregon's got different brand recognition than anyone else out there. And once I think the clock started ticking on them the morning that we were out there in LA for Elite 11 and USC and UCLA, the news breaks, they're leaving. And I don't think that the media rights negotiation has done any favors to the Pac-12. I just think it was an error in judgment. They miscalculated, mistimed. I think they'll ultimately end up, it wouldn't shock me if they're aligned with the Big Ten. That wouldn't shock me at all.
Wow.
And again, I know what that means geographically, but what does geography mean anymore? The Big Ten wants to be a national conference. The Big 12 wants to be in all 4 time zones. I had a question on my show the other day. Why doesn't Greg Sankey and the SEC just go take the Arizona schools? And I said, why would they take the Arizona schools? And someone came to me and said, well, they would get the Phoenix media market. And so I asked the broader question. Maybe you guys have recognized this too.
I know what's coming here.
Have you noticed how much the casual fan all of a sudden cares about TV markets and ratings and conference revenue, even though it doesn't impact 99.9% of the people watching this broadcast right now? All of a sudden, people want to talk about it as if it impacts their life. We got to go get the Phoenix market. You need to be entertained. It would be a whole lot better for you to be able to watch Georgia versus Florida State than it would Georgia versus Arizona State. You don't care about that.
But that's always been LT and my argument about if the SEC expanded again. We know we got the South Carolina market and the SEC and the Florida market. But if I'm in Los Angeles or Denver or Chicago and I like college football, I would much rather watch Clemson play Georgia or Clemson play Alabama than I would Alabama play Virginia Tech or NC State.
I think the biggest misconception, because it matters in pro sports and it doesn't matter as much as college sports, is the media market fallacy. A lot of people think you need to go poach media markets, and Burt Mangus, who runs content for ESPN, I want to say was talking to the New York Times recently, and he made the point that I wish everyone would make, which is the most precious commodity in college sports is the rivalry. It's not media markets. It's to Dunaway's point. If you're an agnostic fan and you live in Ventura, California, you just want to see an entertaining product provided to you by the SEC. It doesn't matter if your media market is ingested. You want to watch an entertaining product. It's like if you like the show Lost. You don't care where it was filmed. You care that you're entertained by it. You watch Georgia, Florida State. There's more ramification. They're border rivals in this world. They recruit against each other. You know nothing about how Georgia correlates with Arizona State. So the rivalry and creating new ones in an ideal world is what you want to do. What you don't want to do is go get Oklahoma and then have them never play Oklahoma State again. You don't want to get A&M and then they don't play Texas for a decade and a half because that's stupid for everyone.
Do you know where Lost was filmed?
I don't know where Lost was filmed.
Hawaii.
Was it really?
Yep.
And what conference is Hawaii in 5 years?
Yeah, exactly. The Rainbow Warriors. More with Late Kick Josh in a second. But remember, if you're an outdoorsman or have an outdoorsman in your life, our friends at Nichols Outfitters taking care of you forever. What can you get at Nichols Outfitters? Forget the the guns, but how about a place to lock up the guns, right? The safes, you get that there. All the outdoor gear, fishing seasons here. Nichols Outfitters is perfect for that. You can stop by and see them. Exit 242 in Pelham. Exit 242 in Pelham. NicholsOutfitters.com. NicholsOutfitters.com. You know, when Roone Arledge and the guys started bringing college football to the country back in the late 60s, early 70s on ABC, it was about putting on the show, the crowd shots, the cheerleaders, the band, the atmosphere, the cutaways, because most of the country were not, you're a fan of your school, but you're not a fan of it being consumed on television on a national scale. And that's how they created the fans we have today, coast to coast.
Yeah, we've been talking about this a lot on our show too. I think a lot of people have started to realize that in the entertainment world, they've long since realized that. But even on the what would you call it? The more procedural side of things, being a coach, being an administrator, an athletic director, for a while you could just take for granted that if Alabama's playing in Bryant-Denny Stadium, it doesn't matter if it's Middle Tennessee State or Tennessee, it's a packed house, and it's not the reality of the world anymore. And so the head coach at Alabama has been very vocal about this, and I think a lot of other folks have, of understanding there is a product from an entertainment aspect we have to put on the field, which goes back to what we were talking about last segment. And it's a whole lot more beneficial for people to see Alabama versus Texas than North Texas. And as long as we don't get any negative consequences from that, they're absolutely right, and I'm 100% on board with that. Regardless of how I feel about it, that SEC schedule is about to be so crazy to the point where I really wonder, 4-team or 12-team playoff, does that committee possess the ability to properly interpret strength of schedule and to properly understand in college football, not all 9-3s are created equal?
That's right. 9-3 SEC compared to a 2-loss Big 12.
Or maybe even a 1-loss Pac-12, because we're talking about shifting dynamics here. If you're looking at a Pac-12 that's void of the California schools, especially if an Oregon or a Washington leaves, and yet I've still got people yelling in my face, well, you are what your record says you are. Well, no, you are not in college sports. You are on Sunday. You're not on Saturday. If you don't possess the ability to interpret strength of schedule better, that's, if I'm Greg Sankey, that's where I really start throwing my weight around. You wanted us to beef up our schedule. You're tired of Cupcake Week in November. That's great. We adhered to all of your wishes, but you're about to tell me because LSU has 3 losses, they can't be in your 12-team playoff. That's not going to fly.
So
me either.
I used to love going to college football games. Now I go to probably 2 a year. I much more enjoy sitting on my couch watching all my TVs. Are you more of a sit at home, watch a bunch of games, or go to a game?
I hate that I can answer questions for you, that I watch you so much that I can answer questions for you. But go ahead. I'll let you answer it.
I'm an in-person guy, okay, but I'm not in the stands, so it's a little bit different. But let me ask you this. If you were 15 years younger, do you think you would feel the way that you feel today?
No. Well, you know what?
That's very close.
Let me go back.
Josh calling you old.
No,
that is
no,
so close.
far be it.
No,
That's far be it for me.
But I go back 15 years, and I was one of the first guys, and this is not like a brag or anything, but I was like, why not have more TVs than one? And so my first man cave, so to speak, had 3 TVs, and that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I still went to probably more games back then. I just like consuming all of them. And honestly, I've got an adopted team, which is USC, Big Ten, by the way.
Big Ten country.
And half the time it's a pain in the ass to find them because I have to get Fubo and all these different apps because I don't have the Pac-12 network on DirecTV. Anyway, I enjoy watching at home.
No, I feel you. We got to set up. We're like 2 blocks from our studio. We've got the huge monitor where you could have a full Titantron view. You could split it into 8 different TVs. It could be quadrants. But
I would never leave there.
It's crazy. But what I don't like now, because I'm at a game every Saturday, what I don't like is, and some of them do it better than others, I really don't think the in-game stadium experience does a good enough job at a lot of places of letting you know there's something happening outside that world.
Agree.
Like you're on a different planet. Not to mention the Wi-Fi infrastructure lack thereof, but you're on another planet, and you've got to check your phone at best to find out what's happening elsewhere. Half the time the ribbon board is not even updated with scores, and if they show you the scores, it's like once a quarter. How are you not making sure that people understand what's going on in the entire country when they are, like you said, I mean, they're kind of giving up their Saturday to come be in your venue?
NFL does a great job with it.
And it's such a small ask.
I agree.
I don't mean to yell from my front porch.
It has been a grumpy old man
Yeah, it
segment.
has.
Will you go to any of the basketball games here?
I'm going to make my way over there later today.
Okay.
Yeah. Only to see Greg Sankey so he can ask football questions. But yes, he'll be there.
I will be able to hear the basketball on the floor. Yes, faintly.
And the squeaking.
He is Josh Pate. He's fantastic. Late kick Josh, wherever you get all of our daily programming, you can get his late kick anytime. And when you follow him on Twitter and he says, I've got room for 2 or 3 questions, jam-packed show, but room for 2 or 3. He means it. He's got room for 2 or 3. So kick in there and send him a good question. He reads them all. Our friends at Johnson RV Center bring you every guest here today. JohnsonRVCenter.com. JohnsonRVCenter.com. Great pricing on that luxurious RV that's going to get you on the road to football Saturdays this year. Stop by and see them. I-65 304 in Coleman, exit 304, exit 334 in Decatur. Great prices. Or see them online at JohnsonRVCenter.com. Back in a moment.
On Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Getting the whole family into comfortable shoes can be an incredible feat, but not at New Balance Birmingham. We have the largest selection and inventory of any specialty shoe store, and our fit specialists will match your feet with the perfect New Balance shoe. Come see us at the New Balance Birmingham store, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today at New Balance Birmingham.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Make sure to check out our gaming channel on YouTube at Next Round Gaming, and also follow us on Twitter at TNR Gaming 247. That way you can know when we go live with our TNR Madden League, live game streams nightly, and more. That's at Next Round Gaming on YouTube.
Hey, college sports fans, are you looking for a debit card branded with your favorite team? Check out Fan Cards. They offer more than 30 officially licensed MasterCard debit cards for the biggest teams, like Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU. You can show your team pride while managing your finances. Plus, set up direct deposit for chances to win tickets to see your favorite team play. Visit myfancard.com to learn more and sign up today. That's myfancard.com, the ultimate way to support your team and manage your money.
Football season is here and fall is coming. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services to make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services is a locally owned and operated independent train dealer, and the team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. Do it now. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Call 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We're at Losers, just down the street from Bridgestone, 1 hour away from Alabama basketball. Is that right? 1 hour away from Alabama basketball, going at 12 noon. A lot of Alabama fans have been out here drinking. How about Alabama great Riley Norris in the house with us early this morning? How have we not bought Riley Norris a drink yet? The man used to carry us back in the day before Nate Oates got there.
Hey, I won't go that far.
Yeah, carry us. She's got him a drink. What are you drinking, Riley? Yeah,
okay.
The 3-on-5 game.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
The 3-on-5 game. Yeah, Riley Norris.
I forgot you were in that game.
I was.
How weird was that?
Super weird. Probably one of the most unusual circumstances I've ever been a part of, playing basketball.
Yeah, remind everybody what happened with that. It was against Minnesota, right?
In the Barclays Center over Thanksgiving weekend. Everybody got ejected because of a scuffle that broke out. Everybody's ejected out of the game. We left with 5 players. First player, Dazon Ingram, fouls out within the first couple minutes. And then about 2 minutes later, John Petty comes down and rolls his ankle.
Oh.
So we're looking around with 3 players with about 8 or 9 minutes left in the game. It was fun though. It was a good experience.
And you
but
guys gave it a run, right?
We did. We cut it to 1 possession. I say we. Colin cut it to 1 possession. I was getting some cardio in though.
You had to stand in somebody's way on the defensive end. Ronnie's going to be with us for a little bit here in this segment. Don't forget our friends at Kickin' It Coolers here on location. At the Losers just down the street. Always a great place to come if you got any of the events at Bridgestone. If you're coming up to the arena, didn't have time to make it today, after the game, you come here to Losers. Then anytime the rest of the weekend or anything happening in Nashville, Losers is a great place to be, Midtown and also here on Broadway. Our friends at Fan Cards, Brown will be back a little bit later on to tell you more about Fan Cards. But all the for some reason we're out of the Alabama ones now, but all the other teams are here as well. They've got 30 teams there. You can get that. Kicking and Coolers there. And Riley's here to talk a little basketball. But first, LT wants to tell us about a Mother's Day gift. Our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa are for the wife.
Yeah, treat that special someone to the gift of luxury from Birmingham's best day spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa, located at the Summit Shopping Centers right off of Highway 280. Choose from the menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. The Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Order that special person gift online 24/7. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Gift card, simple solution. Buy them 24/7 online at Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, or just stop by the Woodhouse Day Spa and tell them the next round sent you.
So Arkansas beat Auburn last night, and they really did it rebounding. I think that was where, Auburn got caught in a bad place. Is that a concern for Bruce and Auburn moving to the NCAA tournament?
It has to be. I mean, the way Arkansas is, they don't shoot the ball particularly well from 3. So they knew going into the game, they got to own the boards. There are going to be a lot of missed shots. If they can own the boards and get some second chance baskets, give them a better chance to win. But moving on to the NCAA tournament, that is a concern that you're going to have to fix, because if you play a team that doesn't particularly shoot the ball well, getting that first rebound is huge. So that really hurt them last night. And yeah, going forward, I think that's something they're going to put an emphasis on.
Okay, we've never seen 3-on-5 except the time you guys played Minnesota. I brought this up earlier. I've never seen a team doubled up on the boards and still have an opportunity in the final minute to win that game.
Yeah, it goes to show you just the way Auburn's built, the way Bruce has built the program at Auburn. I know he mentioned in the post-game presser, the way they didn't give up, the way they kept fighting, kept clawing to get back into the game, and they got some playmakers. I mean, Broom he plays particularly well when they can get him the ball down on the blow block and let him move, make some extra moves and score the ball. Katie Johnson had a really big game last night. But the energy they bring, they're never really out of the game, because they always have that nagging defense that's going to put pressure on the offense. If they're missing shots and they're getting the first rebound, they're off on a fast break. But yeah, tough loss. But the thing Auburn's got to do now is just bounce back, get a couple days off, recoup, and then, like I said, it's 1-game elimination from now on.
So Alabama goes against Mississippi State here in a bit. Just look at KenPom and the adjusted numbers, and you got 2 of the best defensive teams in the country. So when we tip it off in less than an hour now, it's going to be one of those games where moving is going to be hard for Alabama. Shooting's going to be hard for Alabama. It doesn't seem like a good team to be playing when you're 25 of your last 125 shooting threes.
Yeah, it's not. Hopefully after the loss at A&M, they've been able to get some shots up. Obviously, they've been doing that throughout the season. But the last time they played State at Alabama, they were 5 of 28 from 3. So making 5 threes is going to be tough to be a Mississippi State team that's going to slow the pace down. They're going to play through Tolo Smith, who had a heck of a game yesterday, 28-12. So Alabama's got to be able to knock down some outside shots to open them up a little bit, because if not, State's going to sit back like they did against Florida, and it's hard to penetrate. They play such a good defensive style, and they're aggressive, and they're strong, and they rebound. So Alabama's got to be able to knock down some shots. Mainly, Mark Sears has got to be better than he was the last time they played. Brandon's got to knock down some shots. And a big factor of the last time they played in Tuscaloosa was Bidiaco got in foul trouble. So not having Bidiaco down there who can kind of change the shots of Tolu Smith, a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. We're going to need a presence inside, because they're going to feed the ball to Tolu all night long. Every play is going to be for him. So it's a matter of fact, can you stop it or not?
Yeah, we know how good this State defense is. Second in the league, only giving up 60 points per game. Last time Alabama played them, they edged them out in Coleman, but Alabama 5 of 28 behind the arc. They defend the perimeter so well. And, as Dunaway said, 25 of 125 over the last 4 games. If Alabama doesn't start hitting threes, everybody talks about a deep run in March. Yeah. Without hitting threes, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, their games are going to be slower. They're going to be more of a slow paced tempo. And then you look at the games that Alabama's won by, 20 or 30 points, even more than 15 points. They've shot the ball well from three. If they don't shoot it well, it's going to be tough because the limited possessions, limited fast break possessions. I mean, if they can't get on transition and kind of beat the defense down the court, because once Mississippi State gets set up in a half court defense, they're really, really tough to score on.
Friends at Champy's Chicken bringing you part of the show today, always this hour. Highway 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken, great southern fried chicken, all the sides, the Mississippi Delta recipe, tamales, and a lot more. It's champyschecken.com. Sterling, and then we'll have the Bama game and the SEC tournament on the TVs there. You can watch them coming up, champyschecken.com. All right, away from the SEC tournament. And I say this, and I'd love to hear what you think of this. If you know you're in the NCAA tournament, does this feel like a waste of time for you playing in this conference tournament or no?
No, this is something I think, obviously, you want to win the regular season title. I mean, consistency of 9 weeks, 18 games is hard to do. Be consistent every week and end up on top at the end of those 18 weeks. But this is something, especially in a great city like Nashville, the atmosphere in Bridgestone. I know the previous games have had an awesome crowd. There's nothing like it. I mean, this is kind of gets your competitive juices flowing, and this is what you look forward to, right? This is tournament time, one game and you're out. So I think anybody that comes here, obviously they're trying to win the tournament. They're looking forward to this. This is something they circle at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it's a weird question. But do you guys ever feel the pressure to win for fans when you're somewhere like this?
I think there's pressure built up on the outside, and I think that's something the coaches have to battle and keep kind of within the huddle. Don't listen to the outside noise. I mean, it's there, right? I mean, Twitter's there, Instagram's there, all the platforms are there. But at the end of the day, once the ball's tipped up in the air, you're just focused on the opponent, right? So you can't get caught up in too much of the outside noise and the emotions that go into the game. The better teams are going to have the kind of the steady attitude and steady effort throughout the rest of the game.
Where were the tournaments you played in?
So I played Nashville for 4, and then one year was in St. Louis.
Oh, so you got the bad one, the one in St. Louis.
Yeah, the one in St. Louis. It was, I mean, you can't beat Nashville. It's middle of every SEC country. I get tons of fans walking around. It's just a great venue. Bridgestone is an awesome arena, and they do a really good job here.
You'd be okay making this a permanent basketball home like we do football in Atlanta?
Absolutely. I wasn't in Tampa last year. I had some buddies that went to Tampa, and they said it was kind of like the St. Louis vibes. Not a lot, but the city of Nashville buys in to the SEC tournament, and it's nothing like. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, St. Louis. I wouldn't feel safe walking down the street.
Yeah, where'd they even play in St. Louis?
So where the Blues play.
Where the Blues play.
Where the Blues play.
Yeah. Hey, our friends at Wayne's, they bring you part of our show too. More with Riley Norris, Alabama great, and part of our podcast that we do with basketball throughout the basketball season. Wayne's celebrating 50 years of providing you with pest protection, termite protection, mosquito protection in your backyard, and lawn care now. I want to really focus on the lawn care and mosquito services because it's the time of year, even this cold snap, we're still all getting outside and enjoying our outdoors, and you don't want that mosquito problem when you're outside, and you don't want bad grass either. They take care of all that for you. All you have to do is go to the website, callwaynes.com, callwaynes.com, or call them up, 866-WAYNES-1, 866-WAYNES-1. And right now, because we're celebrating 50 years right now, you can get $50 off any of those service. Stack them up, save $100, $150 if you use the promo code TNR. So you got to use that promo code TNR. That's for the next round, TNR. Callwaynes.com or 866-WAYNES-1. All right, so Brandon Miller finally talked this week for the first time, and that'll be probably all he says about that night back in January. He'll probably, according to legal advice, reference back to that statement that he has made and not address it. But when you get to the SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament, you're exposed to the media. Every player is available at that point. Do you feel like finally speaking, not having that still hanging out there, that somehow maybe that lets a little of the pressure off of him and he can get back, and maybe the players can get back a little bit of normalcy?
Yeah, I think so. I think speaking about it, and that's his first, public words said to the media since everything's kind of came out. I think kind of getting that out there and talking and just opening up from your point of view and saying what you had to say. I think that kind of, leave some of the pressure. Obviously, there's going to be more. Like you said, everyone's open to media after this game, and all the eyes are on Nashville for the SEC tournament. So having said that, we'll see. I think hopefully that kind of will take some stress, off the team as well from the pressure of, the media. And you could tell that the last few weeks have been tough on him.
Yeah, since that court testimony, he's played fine. It's been the other guys. It seems like they have not played the same. It seems like they're dealing with it more of a pressure situation carrying that burden than he is.
Yeah, I think so. You can kind of see it on the court too, because it's like you said, it's affected not really him as far as on the court, but it has affected his teammates. There's some guys that haven't been playing as well as they were middle of the season and even at the beginning of the year. So we'll see where it goes, but it's definitely a big stage. So got to be ready for when your number's called on the game to focus. I don't know. We'll see though. I think that I think having said what he had to say and get it off his chest, maybe it helps some of the teammates out from being so locked into the media.
So outside of Brandon Miller, biggest key player today, you say Mark Sears?
I do. Mark Sears was 1 of 7, I believe, from 3 the last time they played Mississippi State. Mississippi State, like I said, is going to play that pack line defense to kind of keep you out of the lane and kind of overhelp and kind of make it hard to score. So Mark Sears got to be able to shoot the ball. He hadn't been playing particularly well at the end of the year as he was in the middle and the beginning of the year shooting the ball. Now they do scout, right? So every game's going to be different. It's going to have a new challenge. But I will say that he's got to be big today. He's got to be able to knock some shots down, spread the court. Brandon can't make all the threes, or he can't be having to take a lot of the scoring load himself. Somebody's got to step up, whether it's Quinterly, whether it's Sears, whether it's, Clowney, whoever it may be.
North Carolina got beat yesterday. We'll get outside of just this SEC tournament's going on. 4 great games. North Carolina got beat. Preseason number 1 since the NCAA tournament expanded in 1985. No preseason number 1s ever missed the tournament. North Carolina is going to miss the tournament. They've got everybody back virtually from that team that lost in the national championship game. For someone that played the game, how surprising is it for a team that was 1 game away from being national champions, get almost everybody back, and for them to miss the field of 68? How does that sit with you?
I mean, it's crazy to think how good they were at the end of the year last year. Well, they weren't having a great year last year, and they made a run in the tournament, but having all that momentum, everybody coming back, your main players coming back, and to start the year the way they did, and then just kind of be nonchalant throughout the year. And
the ACC is not even good this year.
That's another point I was going to hit. Yeah, the ACC is not even one of the top 3 league. I mean, they're up. I mean, I would think the Big Ten and SEC, that between them and the Pac-12, I don't know.
But I don't think the ACC's got a team that could win it. About a month ago, I thought Virginia could. I think Miami's dangerous, but I don't think they got a team that can win it.
Yeah, I agree with you. So that kind of shows you kind of where North Carolina's got a lot of work to do. But I've never seen that before.
Did Jim Boeheim ever recruit you?
Never. I saw the 47 years of the head coach.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Did he ever recruit your dad or your grandfather?
Never.
Were you going to Bama the whole time, or was there everybody else in the mix?
Yeah, Florida, Billy Donovan was on there. He was the head coach there at the time. And then Kevin Stallings was at Vanderbilt. I really like Vanderbilt, the way the style of play they play, the shooting, getting up and down the floor.
Forget that education.
Yeah, education comes last. Yeah.
So you almost came to play on the old Opry floor up here.
Yeah, so they recruited me hard, and I really liked it. And I just ended up staying close to home, and I was growing up Alabama fan. My brother went to Alabama, so
you never would have met. So the roommate is good friends with Darby, his wife.
Yeah.
And you never would have met Darby.
Never would have met her. I never would have met the biggest Auburn fan at Alabama if I didn't go to Alabama. So.
Can you tell the story how y'all met?
I mean, yeah, I guess
it's a great story. Tell it.
No, so back in the day, sliding in the DMs, I think was what they call it.
Didn't even know her.
Wait,
didn't know her.
It still happens today.
I don't know how many marriages happen out of slide into the DMs.
And and so she messaged back once, and then I never heard from her again. 8 months later, she messaged me back on the best game I had in my career at Alabama, 8 threes against South Carolina. And I'm just thinking, she saw the game. Like, it's all it. And then I tried to get it out of her. Did you watch the game? How did you know? She don't even like basketball. And on top of that, she's an Auburn fan. So I'm like, of course, that would happen to me.
Is she going to the game today?
She's not. She's shopping.
She's shopping.
She used you for a trip up here.
Used me for a trip. So my sister-in-law and her out shopping.
They're shopping in Nashville.
I know it's dangerous. I had to cut off the credit cards.
While you and your brother head to the game.
That's it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Auburn fan, but she slid into your DMs. People still slide into your DMs. I think Kelsey Ballerini, the boy she's dating now, she slid into his DMs.
Okay.
I heard that on Call You Daddy. Call You Daddy yesterday. Yeah.
So it hasn't gone out of style. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's Riley Norris, everybody. Riley, thank you, man, for being here.
Thank you.
Before you go, though, I can't give you these. They warned me from the sales department not to give any more of these away. Hell, I thought that's why we had them. But Brown's going to tell you. You ever notice university fan cards before, Brown? How do we get these fan cards?
You like me just walking in here behind him? What's up, Riley? How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Good sliding into Riley's DMs.
Wow.
I'm going to have to call a game today.
Yeah, I am too. My fan cards, Dunaway, myfancard.com. Dunaway's got all those schools right there. You see South Carolina, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida.
I swear, I think Josh Pate stole 2.
Alabama, Auburn up front.
Half of them have disappeared.
They have.
Yes. Well, I had the Tennessee one. That girl was going to use the Tennessee one, and she left without using it.
Well, you didn't give it to her. She
Well,
probably
she left.
You could have walked over and gave
I
it.
think she's scared of my voice. She's like, I don't want the COVID.
I think she's.
I don't have COVID, by the way. I'm good. It's pollen. College sports fans, you do 2 things. Use your debit card a lot. I just used it right here at the bar. And you use, you what?
We don't have any left. You know what I think happened?
What?
We all turned around and were talking to people, and they've just been sitting out here in the bar.
People are just stealing
I think
them?
people have taken them.
Well, good. Visit myfancard.com. Learn more. You set up direct deposit. You get a chance to win game tickets. Alabama, Auburn, all the schools. They got more than 30 officially licensed debit cards for the biggest teams. Myfancard.com. That is myfancard.com.
I mean, seriously, the count's down to 8. How many do we have?
I don't know. Well, there's 2 up there. I don't know. That's a good question.
You're welcome, losers. Is that what they call it?
What we should have done
We've been losing all day.
is we should have bought rounds with those of kicking and coolers for everybody that came up here.
Well, we could do that still.
Should have done.
Yeah, I guess we got time.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Are
I'll
we
do it.
doing trash
Give me
today
a-
or not?
Yeah.
Use that
And
one.
4
They're
downs.
gone.
Auburn? Okay.
They got eliminated yesterday.
All right.
Use that one.
Auburn is out of the tournament. I'm going to use the Auburn one to buy some kicking and coolers.
Yeah.
You want to use Florida? They're gone too.
Buy 2 of them, Brown. Seriously.
Well, hang on.
South Carolina, Ole Miss. Everybody's
Hang
got
on.
eliminated. Use all those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see what we got here. I'll do it.
Well, they're
I'll-
also-
Hey, so
they're-
did you visit Gainesville?
I did. I took an unofficial there.
I do not like that city.
So I wasn't there a lot.
just don't.
Yeah, it's different. It's huge. It's spread out.
Yeah, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to. You got to fly to either Orlando or Tampa, and then you got to drive. And I don't know. I just didn't like it.
Hey, Brown.
Yeah.
It wasn't fan cards you were supposed to do, though. It was my bookie.
Hey, mybookie.ag code next round. Mybookie.ag code. LT, what's the line on Bama right now?
Bama's 7.5. But
Oh,
Brown,
it's down from 8.
your big play is Kentucky.
Kentucky. What are they?
8.5.
Oh wow.
Dunaway's got a stake on it with me, but I think this
I heard him.
I give Jerry Stackhouse a ton of credit, but I think it comes to a crashing halt. This
Okay.
I got Vandy sliding in under the number, Riley.
Okay.
I like the way they're shooting.
Uh,
around.
Brown, you didn't hear his story, did you? Oh,
No, I did
how he
not
met
know.
Darby?
I've been over here PRing for the
Didn't
cup.
know her slid into her DMs.
Oh, man, I love it. Hey,
Had to.
confident shooter. Shooter got to shoot, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey.
you know who your favorite basketball team is?
Auburn. That's okay. That's all right. Hey, mybookie.ag code next round. In fact, I was just talking with one of our members of our audience that's up here. And he said, I've never bet in my life, ever, with a bookie. He goes, you talked about it so much. I had so many people telling me they heard it on your show. For the Super Bowl, I went to mybookie.ag. He said, I used code next round. I got the deposit right away. I only bet the Super Bowl and was able to cash it all out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So a guy right here in Losers just told me that.
Yeah.
So you can-
Ironically, he's a winner here. at
He's a
Losers.
winner at Losers. You can do the same thing. MyBookie.ag code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. It's easy. It's secure. I just literally just had a guy tell me he made money on the Super Bowl. MyBookie.ag code next round. MyBookie.ag code next round.
Riley said, do they still call it sliding into the DMs? All this. They still call these selfies too.
Yeah.
Just send us to Taylor. Y'all hop in here, Lance. Here we go. Everybody. There we go. There we go.
Oh,
Here
let me
it
hold
is.
up the fan cards.
Okay, fan cards go. Come on, Brownie.
Yeah.
More advertisement. Our back to the camera. They taught me not to do that in broadcasting
That's
school.
okay.
Riley, thanks
Hey,
for
listen,
being with
Scott
us,
won't
man.
get upset at you.
Pleasure.
When we come back, we've got trash today, 4 downs, and we'll put a wrap and go over and watch the Tide take on State. This is the next round, brought to you by our friends at Champies, Highway 119 in Alabaster, from Nashville, Tennessee. This is TNR.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
It's the spring sales event at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Now you can get $10,000 off, plus rates as low as 4.7% on new 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvios and new 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulias. Come see the team at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, exit 27 just off I-459 on Grants Mill Road, or visit them online at alfaromeousaofbirmingham.com. Hurry down before they're all gone. All incentives applied in stock units only with approved credit. alfaromeousaofbirmingham.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Today I have some tips on how to stay healthy. Number 1, get some cardio. 2, get a proper fitting on your shoes to get the most out of that cardio. Our in-store fit specialist will match your feet with the perfect New Balance shoe so you get the perfect fit. Come see us at the New Balance Birmingham store, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today at New Balance Birmingham.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Have you had a pipe burst, a washing machine overflow? Maybe your toilet or bathtub has overflowed upstairs and now you have water coming through your ceiling? No problem. The specialists at Dry Tech are here to help. What's important is you act immediately when water damage occurs. Failing to do so can cause mold, rot, and mildew issues. Long-term exposure to those toxins can cause many health issues down the road. So act fast. When trouble strikes, call Dry Tech 205-637-0143. That's Dry Tech at 205-637-0143.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. Hey, college sports fans, are you looking for a debit card branded with your favorite team? Check out Fan Cards. They offer more than 30 officially licensed MasterCard debit cards for the biggest teams, like Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU. You can show your team pride while managing your finances. Plus, set up direct deposit for chances to win tickets to see your favorite team play. Visit myfancard.com to learn more and sign up today. That's myfancard.com, the ultimate way to support your team and manage your money.
LT will give us trash in just a second. Yesterday, Rutgers beat Michigan. Big bubble win for Rutgers, not necessarily automatically in, but they're better off than Michigan, who's 3-11 in quad one games. One field goal over 13 minutes cost it for Michigan. We think Mississippi State's in the tournament regardless of what they do with Alabama here at the top of the hour, right?
I think they are, yes.
Yeah. Pitt is they lost yesterday to Duke in a bad way. Some people are thinking they may have slipped down into the first four in or out, so we'll see what happens with Pitt. UConn beats Providence. The Friars should be okay. Virginia beat North Carolina. We talked about North Carolina not being in the tournament most likely. They're going to be out. Penn State beat Illinois 3 times this year, including yesterday in the Big Ten tournament. Likely enough to get the Nittanies into the tournament, so good for Penn State yesterday. And then everything else that's going on. It was a big night in the Pac-12 as well with Arizona State beat USC. USC's likely in. Arizona State's now likely in. Bobby Hurley getting into the tournament. Our friends at Hemphill want to make sure you're in the right temperature, whether it's the cooling or the heating. Adam and Chad and those folks will fix it. They fix it right. They fix it the first time. Your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name Birmingham's trusted since 1954. It's our friends at Hemphill Services. You can call them up, 205-229-2090, 229-2090, or just remember the name Hemphill. I mean, we've appreciated Justin Hokanson, Herb Wenches, Josh Pate, and Riley Norris all being here with us on what has been my favorite live location show of all time.
Whoa.
Of all time today.
What made it your favorite?
Less you, more me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I really apologize to you guys. I hope
No,
you know.
please. I apologize to you guys that have not been any fun going out on the town.
Well, I mean, I've been able to talk to a lot of our audience. I'm blown away by how many people came.
Yeah, really.
me too.
Awesome
Yeah,
crowd.
awesome turnout, and I've been able to talk to a lot of them.
What we've learned, if we do the show right next to where Alabama's or Auburn's playing the event, on their way into the arena, they'll come by and hang out with us.
Here's what I've learned. Other bars don't open till 11. We got them to open at 10,
Hey, we're
and they wanted to drink.
Hey, why not? Why not? This is a plan we should think about on football Saturdays coming up in the future. Let's get to trash here, and then we got one more segment. The show's ending a little early
Got to
today.
do 4 downs in the last segment, don't we?
We got to do 4 downs.
Thank you,
in the last
guys.
Segment.
Thanks
Hey,
for coming out.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Big Dolphins fan right there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good to see you,
Hands
man.
up.
I'm sorry.
Good to see you, brother.
Any Buccaneer fans? See you.
Thank you.
See you.
All right, they're on their way over to Bridgestone Arena. It's time to hit the big button, Tyler. So go ahead and do that, man.
Do y'all usually start before 8 o'clock with a chainsaw?
What time is it, sir?
Well, it's after 8 now. You guys started firing it up at 7:55.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Dude was grinding metal all day Sunday, 2 Sundays ago. All day. Buying a home is a major milestone in life. Getting it right comes down to the right advice at the right time. That's why we're proud to partner with our friends at Mortgage Right, who do mortgages the right way. The housing market has its ups and downs. That perfect home you've had your eye on may be harder to come by, but with Mortgage Right's Lock and Shop program, you can lock in your interest rate before you start shopping for a home. Plus, you're going to know exactly how much home you can buy. Locally owned and operated, Mortgage Right standing by to help you today. Visit their locations, Highway 280 in Birmingham, Parkway Drive in Leeds. You can apply online, mortgageright.com/TNR, or call 205-815-9200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. We start first. Two DUIs in the same day.
2? You know, one time, while you open that, there's a speed trap in Glencoe, Alabama. And when I was a teenager, we used to go cruise Broad Street in Gadsden. And my buddy Jeremy Wright, great guy, one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet, got a speeding ticket on his way to Broad Street and coming home from Broad Street, 2 in one night.
It's hard to do because they put you in the drunk tank for hours.
Yeah, this is speeding, not DUI.
So
yeah.
a person in York County was arrested for DUI twice in the span of 5 hours. Now, according to the Newberry Police Department, police arrested the 23-year-old for DUI following a traffic stop. Driver was taken to the York County Booking Center, where there he was processed for driving under the influence and related charges. Approximately 5 hours after the initial DUI arrest, around 2:28 a.m., same individual called York County 911 to report problems with operating their vehicle at the scene of the original traffic stop.
Oh, my gosh.
This call occurred a short time after they were released from the booking center. When they arrived at the scene, officers determined the individual was attempting to operate their vehicle once again while intoxicated. According to the Newberry Police Department, the individual was arrested for another offense of DUI. I put a little bit of this on the cops.
Yeah, I agree. How do you get back out that quick?
Yeah, how do you get out that quick,
Yeah.
and how do you allow him? How do you not impound his car to begin with?
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, because he obviously didn't have time to drink more. He's
You
probably
wouldn't
still
think.
drunk.
Yeah.
Las Vegas Police Department asking for the public's help in locating a woman accused of stealing items from a retail business in January. According to the news release, during the month of January, police say the female suspect, quote, brazenly stole items from the retail business while an employee filmed the theft occurring. Now, during the incident, police say the suspect was heard telling the employee, quote, "You will never catch me," while laughing. Burglary occurred on Las Vegas Boulevard, and Las Vegas PD is offering a cash reward for tips, directly leading to an arrest or an indictment. Apparently, they were right. Hadn't been caught.
I would say they're 100% right. Not easy to avoid the law, man.
Well,
okay, so
they're good at what they do.
I know a dude.
I got pulled over this morning.
You
Did you
did?
really?
Yeah. So
You're
right,
driving from our hotel to
yeah,
here?
isn't that crazy?
That's 1.2 miles.
Right here on Broadway is a school. I didn't realize I was in a school zone. Nashville motorcycle police officer pulled me over for 25 in a 15. The school zone was 15.
I am shocked you got pulled over for speeding.
Very nice. LT was busting my balls about speeding coming up here.
I mean, he flies.
Very nice.
I drove to Nashville, and Kelsey says, why are you driving? And I said, well, I don't feel good, A. And 2, I don't ride. I rode to Johnson RV Center in your back seat with all 3 of us rode in the same car, and I was motion sick when I got there. So I thought if I drove myself, I'll always be in the driver's seat.
Yeah. So the police officer, very nice, was like, I see you're from out of town. I know you're here for the SEC basketball tournament. You are still going underneath the advertised speed limit or the posted speed limit. So he's like, just please be careful next time. He's very nice about it. Let me out. When I got pulled over this morning, yeah. I had no idea I was in a school zone.
I didn't either because you had to come the same route I did.
Yeah, it's right on Broadway.
Have you checked in yet?
And it was 25?
Yeah, 25. The speed was 15.
Yeah.
Post is like 35 or something.
Oh,
still under that.
I was at 50 going down through there at 6:30 this morning.
I checked in what?
To the new hotel.
No. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a developing story. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe they had rooms available.
I
this
really
early.
can't.
Okay, so I knew a guy that spent over a decade in prison, and right when he got out, he found a way to get arrested again.
Just to get back in.
Yeah, because some people become, as Red said in Shawshank,
right.
institutionalized.
Yep.
How about this? Utah police have arrested a bank robbery suspect accused of demanding $1 from employees and refusing to leave afterward, instead insisting he'd wait for authorities to arrive. Now, the suspect, 65-year-old Donald Sankaros, allegedly entered a Wells Fargo bank in Salt Lake City, presented a note to the bank teller that read, "Please pardon me for doing this, but this is a robbery. Give me $1. Thank you." Now, the employees complied, asked the man to leave, but he refused. In a bizarre twist, he said they should call the police. He then sat down in the bank's lobby, waited for their arrival. As he waited, he appeared to complain about how long it was taking for the officers to arrive at the scene. He also mentioned to employees that they were lucky he didn't have a gun. Now, when officers arrived, he was arrested. He gave the $1 bill to the officers, said he entered the bank with the intent to rob it. He explained he committed the bank robbery, a federal crime, because, quote, he wanted to get arrested and go to a federal prison. He also said if he gets out of jail, he'd rob another bank and ask for more money until he gets sent to a federal prison. He's adamant he doesn't want an attorney, wants to go to federal pen.
Can't imagine it being that bad in life. That's your best choice.
Yeah, but they do occasionally in some of the sentencing to some of the white collar crimes, they do make the federal prison sound nicer than I'm sure it really is. But they make it sound like tennis courts, golf courses, and TV and not bad food. But freedom is better.
It's
than
better
that.
than any of that.
Yeah.
Edwin Espinoza and his family opened Tequila Urellas. They went through roughly 20 pounds of meat a day, selling tacos, burritos, other traditional Mexican foods from a cart. Initially, the family struggled to maintain business, but one menu item caught noticeable attention on social media where Espinoza was exploring to drive business: the Anaconda Burrito.
Oh, I got to hear about this.
Measuring at 3 feet long, over 2 pounds of meat, the burrito made the rounds on social media and sales exploded. A few short years, the humble family-owned restaurant went from selling 20 pounds of meat daily to 600 pounds per day. Customers traveling from all across the country to come try their food. This led to them being unable to keep up with the demand and having to open a second location. Between the two locations, walk-in, dine-in customers, and countless DoorDash and Uber Eats deliveries, two stores go through thousands of meat weekly from their Southern California distributor. I mean, could you eat a burrito that was 3 feet long and weighed 2 pounds?
I could not. There are times I feel like I could.
I think Dunaway could probably do it.
Oh, I could eat it. I could eat it.
Shout out to Pritch Law in the chat room saying, God probably let Brown go because he thought he had some massive disease.
Yeah.
My God, I don't want that.
Don't want to cup him. Yeah. Let me go back and put my mask on.
Shower thoughts for you guys. First one, microwaves never come with a subtract 30 seconds button.
They do not. You just have to open them early. But I will go ahead and tell you, in our new place, I've been there now a year and a half. I have not really figured out how to program the so if I'm cooking something 6 minutes, I run it up 30 a second time.
Wait, so
it drives Maggie crazy.
It's Jennifer too. She's like, all you gotta do is hit 300. I'm like, I know.
Another shower thought: when we hum or sing songs in our head, we never finish them.
It's true.
It's true.
Yep.
Or sometimes I do sing the last part of it for a big finish.
Okay. Inspirational phrases become more sinister when they're whispered randomly.
Give me an example. I'm gonna kill you. That's not inspirational. Jim.
Oh, I thought
that's actually
here we go.
I was got to.
Ooh, that does sound bad. Yeah.
Go meet the answer. Yeah.
No, I'm like an hour away from talking that way.
Okay, and final shower thought: realizing how many of the rejected Shark Tank contestants went on to become successful. The billionaires are terrible investors. They actually passed on Ring doorbells.
I mean, that's pretty crazy to think about. Like
I think that's a great idea. That's one of those. Like if you would have thrown Uber at me, I'd have been like, I don't know if that's going to work.
Yeah, me either.
Ring doorbell though makes a lot of sense.
Like, I mean, my Ring doorbell has been going with A+ tile and remodeling, going in and out my front door to do my bathroom. I've been getting alerts all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know how to turn it off. Like, I just want to turn it off.
Do you think anybody's ever had a
Just hit the
conversation?
microwave 30.
Do you think anybody's ever had a conversation with somebody at their door while they're driving?
I had to do it yesterday. I don't want you to. Why did you have to bring it up?
I wasn't going to say you.
I know he's going over 80. How close to the bumper was he of the car in front?
No, it was the rail on the left.
I had a contractor show up and everybody was gone, so I had to talk to the guy.
And the guy couldn't hear anything.
It was a disaster.
It was like a 7-second delay in the ring.
It was a disaster.
Brown got mad at me. He got mad at me when we were riding down to the Floribama on the road trip. The truck in the middle lane sort of drifted into Brown's lane right when Brown was looking at a text and drifting towards the right lane. And I did this, LT. I did this.
No, you didn't. This is going to be such an undersell right here.
I went like this.
No, you didn't. This is Dunaway. Anytime something happens on the road, Dunaway goes, God, just settle down.
No, I remember when you hit some ice when we were in the Johnston RV.
Yeah, I did.
And he completely panicked.
No, I just kept trucking. You accelerate through the ice, don't you?
Yeah. Hey, are you a veteran looking for a VA loan? Mortgage Right has been advocating for veterans since their company began. As a veteran-owned, operated company committed to your well-being, they can help you find the best terms available, guide you through every single step of the process. For active military or veterans, VA loans can be a great way to help you purchase a home. Let Mortgage Right take care of everything from the pre-qualifying process through closing. Their mortgage experts will work with you to find the best rate and loan program available. Visit those locations, Highway 280 in Birmingham, Parkway Drive in Leeds. You can apply at mortgageright.com/TNR.
Bud Light poll question. You can still vote on that out there. Thanks to Taylor for getting that out so quick. Have we already thrown Texas and Oklahoma a bone? Let them come to the SEC basketball tournament every year here in Nashville. No need to play one out in Texas or Oklahoma City. John says it's walkable. Amenities outside are great. Fantastic place for the tournament. Others just love Golf and Moose says Nashville, the perfect city for the basketball tournament. Drivable for even everybody in the league, and enough great airport place and flights to go if you're far enough away and want to fly. And just the location, having places like Losers just on the same block where you can walk, have a great lunch, go in, watch basketball, come out, enjoy the nightlife, go in and watch the night session, come back out. Never move it from Nashville, Tennessee. Thanks to Losers, thanks to Kicking It Coolers, thanks to Fan Cards for all of our coverage here. One more segment to go. I've got 4 downs. Do you have 4 downs?
I do.
Oh,
we'll give it to you.
Okay. Will yours be good on Monday?
No.
Let me look at mine and we'll figure it out.
Maybe we'll go 8 questions in the final segment. It's all one word to go from Losers on Broadway right here on TNR.
Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
It's the spring sales event at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Now you can get $10,000 off plus rates as low as 4.7% on new 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvios and new 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulias. Come see the team at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, exit 27 just off I-459 on Grants Mill Road, or visit them online at alfaromeousa.birmingham.com. Hurry down before they're all gone. All incentives applied, in stock units only with approved credit. alfaromeousa.birmingham.com.
Have you had a pipe burst, a washing machine overflow? Maybe your toilet or bathtub is overflowed upstairs and now you have water coming through your ceiling? No problem. The specialists at Dry Tech are here to help. What's important is you act immediately when water damage occurs. Failing to do so can cause mold, rot, and mildew issues. Long-term exposure to those toxins can cause many health issues down the road. So act fast. When trouble strikes, call Dry Tech 205-637-0143. That's Dry Tech at 205-637-0143.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster. Champy's Chicken.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to The Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com. Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
By noon tomorrow.
All right, wrapping up final segment here. First, thank you, Kicking and Coolers. We waited this long before we cracked them open. Just fantastic.
Well, see, you guys didn't see this, but
you got double.
No. Based on recommendation from several people in the chat room, I went over to the bar and got a shot of Jack Daniel's honey and lemon. Still didn't work.
Why did you not do that on the air?
It was one of our. Oddly, we had a guest on at the time.
Yeah, that's okay. There was no. All the guests were friends of ours.
I know.
So,
I really do appreciate them all coming by too. Very nice.
All right, so Kicking It Coolers, appreciate that so much, and also our friends at Fan Cards. But LT, tell us about your outdoor guy, Harbin's, and how they can change the way your backyard looks right now.
Well, Jeremy is working up a estimate for me right now because I am trying to what is it called, the grade in my backyard.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm also going to get he's installing some huge like evergreens where I can block some of that noise.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good idea. So wait till your chainsaw guys out there cutting down your evergreens. That's going to be a war.
Yeah. So you want to take the grade off your driveway?
That's when the shotgun comes out.
Well, your driveway is one of the steepest, curviest driveways ever.
No, the backyard. Like I'm embarrassed how bad my backyard looks. So Harbin's is going to come out and help me out with that. I mean, they're a one-stop shop. I wish I would have known these guys back in the day because I had so many different moving parts when it came to putting my pool in, from the landscapers to the contractors to the guy that actually designed the pool. Harbin's Outdoors, award-winning landscape company specializing in installing custom fiberglass pools, landscaping, hardscaping. Jeremy and his team are a one-stop shop for your pool construction needs. Harbin's does it all, from the install to the lighting and final hardscapes around the pool and everything in between. It's beautiful work. You can find them right now, Instagram at Harbins_outdoors. See it for yourself or call or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718. That's 205-300-0718. At Harbin's, you and your home are the center of all that they do. Call them today for all of your landscaping needs.
Okay, before we do four downs, don't ever tell me that when I do something impromptu, it does not help us as a company.
Okay, Jim.
University Fan Cards have reached out to Kelsey, and because of the response I had when offered these up and we threw one away, we're going to start giving away some University Fan Cards next week on the show.
All right.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's free money.
That's right.
Free money. We'll pay your house note next week right here on the show with our friends at University.
What a beautiful relationship you and Kelsey have.
Hey, let me find my four downs real quick because I did it so early this
Well,
morning.
I've got mine. We'll do mine and then how many yours you like. All right.
Yeah, I've got mine. Mine are pretty good.
Okay. I like mine too. Let's see if any cross-pollination. It is four downs. It's brought to you by our friends at Vulcan Tires.
Yeah, and remember, wintertime is still here. It really feels like it up in Nashville. And winter weather takes a toll on car batteries, so keep your car starting strong every time with a battery check from Vulcan Tire and Automotive. Their team will keep you on the road no matter what the weather is. We here at The Next Round trust our vehicles with the guys at Vulcan Tire and Automotive. You should do the same. 4 locations. For more information, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
First down.
Do you have anything Matthew Stafford related?
Nope.
Better chance of happening in 2024, not this year, but next year, 2024. Matt Stafford is a Rams quarterback. Matt Stafford is retired. Matt Stafford's a quarterback of another team.
Matt Stafford is a Ram.
In 2024.
Yep. Again,
Wow.
he's about to turn 35. Les Snead came out yesterday. There were rumblings that he was going to be traded. He was on the blocks. He said he is one of our pillars. Matt Stafford loves the game. As long as he stays healthy, I think he's still a Ram. They love LA too.
Couldn't throw last year at the end of the year. Couldn't throw.
Oh, because he wasn't on the field.
He was injured.
Well, yeah, he's got that spinal injury, which is why you can't trade him. So I'll go Ram.
Yeah, I'll have retired.
Okay.
One more year tops, and then he shuts it down. What's your first down?
My first down is over/under on Auburn wins in the NCAA tournament. I'm going to set it at 0.5.
I'll take the over. I'll get a first-round win.
I'll take the under. I think they end up losing.
Probably in the 7-10, 8-9 game now, right?
Yeah, 7-10, 8-9 game.
I think they're going to get one game, and then I think they lose.
Yeah,
in the
I'll
second
take the over.
Yeah, by the way, the one could be, I don't think they'll slip all the way to Dayton. I think they're easily in the main part of the tournament. So I don't think it'll be, but we'll count that, even if it's in Dayton.
Second down.
That goes against my long-standing policy there.
My second down is involving NFL quarterbacks too. Who ends up signing, and they're all up the possible extensions being signed this year, new contracts. Who gets the bigger next contract? Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, or Jalen Hurts?
Joe Burrow.
Cincinnati, that's the problem.
That is the problem, but the market is what the market is.
Anywhere else, he'd be maybe the highest paid quarterback in the game, one of them.
And I don't care. Even if you're cheap for Cincinnati, you've got a generational talent.
Yeah.
You've got
He's
Anthony
basically
Munoz.
a hometown boy too.
Yeah, I would say Anthony Munoz, it's going to be tough to top his career, but you maybe have the best Bengal of all time if he stays healthy.
Could be. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably go Burrow.
I will go Joe Burrow too, even though Cincinnati's not good. What's your second down?
Alabama wins in the SEC tournament. I'll put the over/under at 2.5.
In the SEC tournament?
Yep.
I would bet the under there.
So that would have them either winning the championship or not.
Yeah, losing on Sunday.
So you have them losing on Sunday?
I think they'll win, but if I was going to bet it, the smart bet's take the under.
It is a smart bet, but I would take the over. I think they win this whole thing.
Third. I'm going to take the under. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost today.
Wow. It'd be a very disappointing.
I think Alabama wins today, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Third down.
My third down, Pat Ewing is out at Georgetown. What happens first? Rick Pitino takes Georgetown to an NCAA tournament, or Rick Pitino coaches another school other than Iona or Georgetown?
I'll take Pitino with Georgetown to the tournament. If he takes Georgetown job, they'll get to the tournament.
Yeah, I think they'll get there in year one. I think he's that good of a coach. I think with NIL, they've got some. So that's a really small university. They've got money. Now, whether or not they want to spend it to get basketball back, I would assume they would if they're going to go out and get Pitino. So I think next year he could be in the tournament.
What's your third down?
We haven't been invited to this party yet, but Carrie Underwood is 40 today.
Carrie Underwood's my birthday, my last one. So.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, I was going to ask you, better career. I wonder where her birthday party is tonight.
Yeah, let's go find it.
Let's do it. Better career, Carrie Underwood or Terrell Owens?
T.O. is a top 5 receiver yardage-wise of all time.
Yeah, and I think he's a top 10 receiver of all time.
Yeah, I think I'd go T.O.
I think I would too.
I'm going to go Carrie Underwood. I don't put T.O. in the top 10 all time.
He was really
But
good.
where do you put Carrie Underwood? Now, she might be a top 10 look
What?
for country music.
Look.
Top 1 legs.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, she got 2 of them.
That's true.
That's
a good point.
She's the greatest American Idol winner, most
I
successful.
don't think she won. Did she finish runner-up?
Oh, that's right. She was running up to Taylor.
I think so, yeah.
So she didn't even win American Idol.
But I don't think she's most successful. I think Kelly Clarkson is.
Ooh, I don't think so.
no.
With this show now.
I think it's Underwood.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
Underwood
more
definitely most
people see
successful in
Carrie-
music.
more people see Carrie.
Let's just ask kicking at coolers. More successful, Carrie Underwood or Kelly Clarkson?
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie,
Not even close.
100%. Loser says it, yeah.
Yeah, not even
Yeah.
close.
Definitely.
I'm not
music.
asking who eats more.
Yeah. Wow.
He kills her. man.
Wow.
He kills
Wow. Wow.
Definitely in music, it's Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, I mean, she
Yeah.
writes.
No, but I was
writes
just
a lot
saying
of
better
stuff.
career.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, how big is that Kelly Clarkson show?
I think it's pretty big.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it's really big.
More people see her, Carrie Underwood, just singing the Sunday Night Football theme, LT, than sees Carrie Clarkson's show.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people watch Carrie Clarkson's show. Kelly Clarkson.
Carrie.
Fourth
I don't
down.
know. My fourth one was Carrie Underwood. What's your fourth down?
Chuck Norris, 83 years old
That's
today.
incredible.
Better career, Bill Parcells or Chuck Norris?
I thought you were going to know better career. Which Norris? Chuck Norris, Riley Norris.
Oh.
I just got a text from Riley. He said our setup's sweet.
Oh, very good for Riley.
Thanks, Riley.
Literally.
So Riley literally slid into your DM.
Wow.
That's such a good story.
Bill Parcells.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Chuck Norris. I mean, think about the quotes. When God said, "Let there be light," Chuck Norris said, "Say please."
He's become a meme. Chuck Norris has become like a meme.
Chuck Norris, tears cure cancer. Too bad he's never cried.
Don't stop. Give us more.
That's all I got.
The only place Bill Parcells really fell was Miami.
The one thing.
I mean, Chuck, I get that. He won 2 Super Bowls, but Chuck Norris is literally an icon.
See, you got to be ready to go as you get ready to do stand-up comedy one day. You land a line like that, and the bar staff laughs at you. And you got to have more.
I can tell him my mechanic joke.
You got to have more come back.
She'll love this. Hey, how can you tell the mechanic had sex? His clean finger.
She laughed.
She did laugh.
I love that all the Alabama fans have gone to
Yeah.
Bridgestone Arena when Lance starts to stand up.
Just get a little kicking cooler in me. That's all I need.
Y'all should spell it that way, the way LT just said it. Kicking it in cooler. So an extra.
What did you call it? You made like a sentence out of it earlier.
I did. I didn't put an extra K and multiple N's in it. Kicking and Coolers, part of the show as always when we're here in Nashville. We love those folks so much. And Vulcan Tire brings us the 4 downs.
Yeah, look, if you're heading somewhere, a road trip, a dead battery's not going to get you there before your next road trip this winter. Take your vehicle down to Vulcan Tire and Automotive for that comprehensive battery check. We here at the Next Round trust our vehicles with the team at Vulcan Tire and Automotive, locations all across Birmingham. To find out more about what they can do for you and your vehicle, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
Thank you so much to Losers for opening up early for the Alabama fans so they could come hang out. And now they're all over in the arena. The game tips in less than 5 minutes. You guys will be watching early show for us, and we're wrapping it up here Sunday. Make a plan to come out and watch the selection show with us. Our friends at Redmond Vodka and Distilling will be with us at Walk-Ons on 280. The selection show on CBS starts at 5. We'll all sit there. We'll react to where Alabama and Auburn, hopefully UAB, are placed. And then afterwards at 6 o'clock, thanks to our friends at Redmond Vodka, we will be going live on all our video platforms to broadcast and react to the brackets. Scott is right now putting up a QR code on your screen where you can jump in and enter the contest to win Chuck's Bucks. A perfect bracket gets you $1 million and lets you basically hang out with Charles Barkley anytime you want, because at that point you're a millionaire. But there'll be other great prizes too as you compete for Chuck's Bucks, and our friends at Redmont running that bracket for us this year. We appreciate them so much. But Sunday, 5 o'clock, we'll watch the selection show, Walk-Ons 280, and then we will be there to react live on this platform. Any final thoughts? We've got, we've only got 30 seconds. Something quick, LT.
I'm excited. I'm excited to go to the game.
Sorry for my voice. Thank you, fan card.
Yeah, I got nothing else for
Thank you, fan cards. Thank you, Losers. Thank you, Kicking and Coolers.
Is there one SEC championship game participant in football in your hand right now?
No.
Football? Oh, I thought that was Georgia. Sorry.
No, that's Ole Miss.
By the way, I went to the best tequila bar I've ever been to last night.
All right. That's a good way to end it. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
Fall weather is the best time to be on the golf course, and Jerry Pate's design at Timberline will not disappoint. The course is in fantastic condition, and if you don't have time for a round of golf, come use Timberline's TrackMan driving range. You can practice, play games, and play virtual golf all on the practice tee. Come enjoy your day on one of Alabama's top 10 courses you can play. It's Timberline Golf Club. Timberline is easy to get to just off I-65 at exit 228. Book tee times online at timberlinegc.com. Tee it up at Timberline.
Hey, college sports fans, are you looking for a debit card branded with your favorite team? Check out Fan Cards. They offer more than 30 officially licensed MasterCard debit cards for the biggest teams, like Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU. You can show your team pride while managing your finances. Plus, set up direct deposit for chances to win tickets to see your favorite team play. Visit myfancard.com to learn more and sign up today. That's myfancard.com. The